Halo, what up boys? Jadi pada stream kali ini kita akan menonton, where? Oke, yep. Oh, shit. Bentar, perlu adjust ini dulu. Yep, there we go. So, di stream kali ini kita bakal nonton gimana cara learn Unity, the most basic tutorial I'll ever make. Thank you very much. Ada 2 juta like, 74.000. Oh no, 2 juta view. Very nice. Okay, so why are we doing this today? Because I'm stupid. Look. Wait, what? Why is it not showing? Oh man, god damn it. Wait. Oh man. Oh wait, what is going on? Maaf guys, ada masalah. There we go. Yep. Jadi masalahnya ini apa? Aku ngetik apa? Jadi dari kemarin, oke, sudah membuat gamenya. Ini dia gamenya guys. Sudah bisa melakukan, bisa apa aja? Sudah bisa dimainkan, oke. Wow, lihat nih, hai aja nggak tahu ya. Oke, jadi udah bisa gerak, bisa apa ini. Wow, ame keren banget. Wow, oke, that's not the point. The point is I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Aku ngapain? Jadi semua yang aku tekan di sini ini aku hanya ikutin video YouTube, and that is a big problem because kemarin aku mau coba bikin code seorang dan aku benar-benar nggak tahu. Ini private void apa ya? Private void awake apa ya? Serialized field mungkin aku tahu. Tapi ini rigid body, ini mungkin aku tahu lah sedikit. Tapi kayak gimana terpakai? Aku tidak bisa membuat code sendiri. Jika ya ada masalah besar, aku nggak ngerti gimana cara bikin code sendiri, cara code hal-hal. So, bangke. So today kita akan belajar from the man himself, balding guy. Wait, kok bentar, I need to just film the thing. Wait. Alright. Hi, we good? Yep, we are good. So yeah. We'll only be watching this guy. Wait, let me show you his face. Please like his video too, because I think, I don't know, I feel bad. That's it. That's our guy. Yeah, thank you very much, balding guy. You look very handsome. Alright, apa yang gitar ini? Saya sudah bilang autis. Oke, jadi kemarin kita ditemani oleh pacarku Kobo, benar kan? Hari ini kita akan ditemani oleh istriku Hura. Oke, ya. Baiklah. Let's go.
Values there if we want an exact positioning there. So what is a transform anyway? A transform is the position, rotation, and scale of a game object. Every game object will have a transform in your game. And again, it's the position.
So we're starting this easy. It's transform and stuff. It's not. We're not on the coding yet. So I'm going to sleep for now.
Performance stuff is scaled one, and
Once
you
we get
also
there,
have, less problems.
I'll
if you
wake
have
up.
a hierarchy of game objects. If they're
Or
scaled
wake me up
differently,
with
it'll
donation
get a little bit
or
confusing
some
with the
shit.
scales. And we can also see a few other things here in this specter. And when you create this default game object or the cube, not only did it add this transform automatically, it also has a bunch of components here. It's got something called a mesh filter, and this is telling the graphics card what type of a mesh it should be rendering.
It's
In this
easy,
case,
my boy.
it's a cube.
Hey, wait,
If I click
what's
on this
that?
little button here, you can
Oh, wait,
see
wait,
that
wait, wait.
it's
What?
limited.
What
The
was
scale is
talking about?
always 1, and that's what you should try to operate at most times. Well, the transform in your game. And
Well, I
again,
think
it's the position,
kayaknya dia ngomongin
rotation,
apa
and
barang yang aku nggak tahu
scale
lah.
of that game object. And by
Wait.
default, the scale is always 1, and that's what you should try to operate at most times. You get better performance if stuff is scaled 1, and you also have less problems if you have a hierarchy of game objects. If they're scaled differently, it'll get a little bit confusing with the scales. And we can also see a few other
okay.
things here in this specter.
I-
When you create this
I-
default game object or the cube, not only did it add this transform automatically, it
Okay,
also has a bunch
seems
of
like we cannot.
components here.
I cannot sleep
It's
this
got
one
something
out.
called a mesh filter.
Yeah,
And this
tidak
is
bisa
telling the
tidur.
graphics card what type of a mesh it should be rendering. In this case,
Harus ditonton.
if I click on this little
Kayaknya ada
button here,
banyak
you can see
barang
that I can
penting
select
yang
the
harus aku
different
tahu.
meshes here. And these are the default primitives that come with Unity. And
Kalau
later
tidak
on when you look at the
penting,
game, you'll
out
probably
saja ya.
import 3D objects from Blender or something like that. And if you do that, then they will also show up here. So the mesh filter tells the graphics card which mesh it should be rendering. Then we have something called the mesh render, and that's actually responsible for telling the graphics card how to render this mesh. It knows that it's a cube, but we can also assign it stuff like a material, and it's got a default material here by default. How we should be interacting with shadows. Should it be casting shadows? Should it be receiving shadows? We've got stuff like probes and stuff like that. We don't have to worry about that. That's a bit of a future thing. And we also have this thing called a box collider. And a
Box
collider
collider.
is,
Oh,
telling the
langsung
physics of the
dikasih
game,
cuy box
how
collider.
it should be interacting
What
or
the?
how it should be colliding with
Look at
other
that.
objects in your
That's
scene.
pretty neat.
And by default, it also gets this box
Enak
collider
kali.
automatically.
Kalau
So in this inspector here, what we just
Oh,
covered
goddamn.
now are also
look at this. Look. Dia langsung dapat loh box collider. Enak kali kalau 3D. Aku kayak ada rencana mau bikin game 3D sih. Kau pengen God damn it. What was I about to say? Buku. Jadi nanti kameranya sini kan? Sini. Ini kamera, ini. Fuck, god damn it. Ini kayak depan kameranya lensa. Dilihat ini. Ini ada buku. Dilihat buku. Habis itu nanti yang buku lah. Ini ada pohon-pohon lah gitu kan. Kayak ini 3D, tapi cara mainnya 2D. Hanya bisa kiri kanan, nggak bisa atas bawah. Mungkin bisa. Kira mungkin bisa. Tidak mau. Oke. Itu rencana awalnya. Tapi harusnya susah sekali. Nggak susah sekali. Susah mau gambarnya. Ya. Jadi kita main santai aja ya. Awal-awal ya, kira aja. Yeah, that's pretty neat. Ada box collider langsung
So in
kalau
this
3D.
inspector here, what we just covered now are different components that are attached to this game object. If it looks a bit confusing, don't worry too much about it now, because as you start making your
It's
own
not-
games
it's
and
not-
prototypes
it's,
with Unity, this sort of stuff will
don't worry,
come to
don't
you
worry.
through the process.
It's
You'll
easy,
repeat
my
it
brother.
over and over again, and it'll start. And that changed it here in the hierarchy as well. And you can also click on it here and press F2 to rename it. And we're going to make something that could
Neat.
be the start
F2.
of a platforming game. So let's call this one
I.
Floor Time. So that's the start of our platforming game. Let's press play and see if it's a fun game. Ordered for over. We have the assets select. We want to keep things tidy, so let's name this one materials.
Materials,
I usually
okay.
create folders like this, and I put materials in one folder so I know where to find them.
I'll
We can
skip
double-click on this
if I
folder now,
think
and let's right-click again
I can
now and create something else.
get it
Let's make
already.
Material this time. So we're gonna name this one floor dirt, because this is gonna be the brown part of our tile. We want to change the color of this. We don't want gray dirt. So on the right here, when I've got this floor dirt material selected, on the right here, we still have the inspector, and as you can see, that can work here as well. Not only when you select stuff in your scene, but also when you select stuff in your warehouse or in your project folder, you can modify those. So let's change the color here from white of this material. So let's change it to brown dirt color. We can see a little preview down here at the bottom, and dirt brings
I got
material
it.
straight into the scene. Let's drop it on the cube here in the scene since we can see it.
Huh.
And if I
Hey,
select
wait,
the
what?
we'll click on it and drag it onto the cube here. You can either do it onto the one up here or straight into the scene. Let's drop it on the cube here in the scene since we can see it.
What the?
And if I say here, no, let's show.
Ano material?
I put materials in something else. Let's make it a material this
Material.
time.
Oh,
Let's see
okay.
material,
Neat.
the first element.
Very nice.
We dragged it onto there.
Tapi nggak bakal pakai sih, cuy.
Drag it onto there.
Habisnya kita bikin game tuh di akun ini game paling banyak. Ntar coba cek video lain. Gak ada yang God damn it. Ini ada, tapi dia nggak kayak jelasin dari awal, dari basic. Jadi aku agak tahu. Ya harusnya kalau dalam coding nggak terlalu banyak. Yang aku perlu tahu codingnya sih. Mau langsung skip ke coding kah? Aku takutnya nanti kita bakal bingung apa yang terjadi, lalu menangis dan bunuh. Jangan. Let's not go there.
Okay, so a little bit more about the
Mungkin
navigation. So I
kali
mentioned
kecepatan
before
ini.
that in the scene view, we can hold Alt and then click the left mouse button to rotate around the view. You can also hold the Shift key down as your middle mouse button to pan around in your scene. And you can use the scroll wheel to zoom in and out. And sometimes you get a little bit off-centered like this, and when you start rotating, it's rotating way out of what you want to be watching. And if you select the floor tile here and then press F, it will frame it into view. That's very useful as well. And now when we rotate around it, it nicely orbits around our object. So remember, the F key will focus onto the game object. Same thing if I select the camera, press F, and it centers on that one. So let's go back.
Oh.
Zoom out a little bit, and here we go. All right, now we're going to make it look a little bit more again like a floor type in a platform game. So we can actually select this game object that we already have selected. And then I press Control D, and that created a copy of it here. And we can't really see it
Okay.
in the scene view because it's
Control D.
First of all, we'll click on it here in a hierarchy, press F2, and let's just name it grass. And then we have material.
Wait,
So let's
kamera
click
nggak
on
tengah,
the view
cuy.
of our floor dirt material.
Oke, ini.
Control D,
Bentar.
and it's created a copy here. So let's press F2 and name it grass. And then we should change this as well. Make sure that it's selected.
Ah,
and then
there we
click on
go.
the color up here and make it green like grass.
Wait, what?
There we go. And now it'll be tricky to move it up.
Okay. Material baru.
Dirt material, it'll color up here and make it
Control D.
like grass. Okay, there we go. And now it'll be tricky to move it onto here because we don't know. We've got two game objects now with the same type of cube and the same location, so we don't necessarily know which object we're dragging onto here. So here's a good example where you want to drag it onto your grass here instead. And again, it showed it probably would have hit the right object, but we don't know that for sure. Now we know that it was the grass. So if we select the grass here, you can see that it's got the grass material, and here the floor tile is got the floor dirt. But they're in the exact same
Hell yeah,
position. So
Gura.
make sure we've got the grass selected here and then slide it up a little bit on this axis. And now you can see something called Z fighting. Z fighting is when the graphic card is trying to render surfaces that are exactly in the same location on the one plane, then it doesn't really know which one to pick, so it just does its best job. And here we can see that sometimes it's picking the dirt and sometimes it's picking the grass.
Yeah.
And this is a bit of a problem, but we can work on that. Let's start by sending up to make sure we've got it. We can type here in the inspector 0.5, and now we know that we raised the grass up to half the distance here. The cubes in Unity by default are 1 by 1 by 1 units, and we've raised it now on the y-axis, which is up by 0.5. And now we can also change the scale here. Let's make the x scale 1.01, and you can see that the z height is disappeared here. And we'll do the same on the z axis.
Okay.
And now since that cube, the grass cube, is slightly bigger, then the graphics
Very nice,
card
very
allows us to not have the black and white. But it's a bit thick, the grass. So we have
Smart move, my man.
and that compresses this tube down into a flat grass texture. And now starts the
Minecraft.
in platforming game. I mentioned before that you should try to avoid changing the scale, but for this purpose, if you're going to create primitive game objects like this using primitive cubes, you don't really have any options. You have to change the scale. But you want to avoid changing the scale if you design your game objects or your meshes in Blender, for example. Try to model them in the scale that they will be using in the game engine because it will save you a lot of time and hassle later on. So the floor tile and the grass, they're two different game objects. So if I move this floor tile here, you can see that the grass stays there. And we don't really want that to happen. The same way if we move the grass here, just the grass moves. So we can actually change the hierarchy. That's why again why it's called a hierarchy window here, because I can pick this grass now, click on it, hold it, and then drag it onto the floor tile. And that made the grass game object a child of the floor tile object. I can still move the grass independently, like this. Control Z, let's move it back. But if I click on the floor tile, then this grass is a child.
Okay.
So that's very useful.
Very
you often have
nice.
hierarchies in game objects. For example, if you've got a spaceship, you'll have maybe wings. You'll have
Wait,
wings
how?
as children. The grass is in the game engine. And we don't really want that to happen. The same way if we move the grass here, just the grass moves. So we can actually change the hierarchy. That's why again why it's called a hierarchy window here, because I can pick this grass now, click on it, hold it, and then drag it onto the floor tile. And that made the grass game object a child of the floor
That's
tile.
it? What
I
the
can still
fuck?
move the grass independently, like this.
Gampang kali.
Let's move it back, but if I click on the floor tile and move it, then this grass is a child and then it will follow its parent around. So that's very
Aku kayak pengen langsung skip
weapons as children,
itu
flames, thrusters, you name it.
apa
But again,
namanya,
still all
bagian
game objects with its own set of components,
coding.
so keep that in mind. Also, in the inspector here now, that we can see that
Ya,
transform. If we select this
coba langsung ke coding. Oh bentar. Oke. God damn it. Speedrun.
shift this
Skip yang aku rasa aku tahu.
But x that we change for the parent is still 0. And that's because the child is showing here in the inspector its relative position to the parent. Or think of it like this. I'm a parent, I've got a bunch of kids, and for example, when they were younger, I used to carry them in my arms. So they were in a relative position to me, they were 0, 0, 0 centimeters from me in an XYZ coordinate system. But I could walk around in the house, I could go up the stairs down, I could change my position, but my child's position relative to me was in the same location. If I held my child out like this, maybe 1 meter, if I've got long enough arms for myself, then there would be
Oh yeah, good.
pretty much every game will be using prefabs that you make, and it'll save you a lot of time and hassle. So try to make sure
What the
strange
fuck?
sound comes from this baby. Something really strange. And for me is 1 meter in my Z direction, in my forward direction. And then, for example, let's say there was a strange sound coming from this baby. Something really strange, and then it started to stink. Then I can reparent this child object to another parent, and then the problem pretty much goes away. It takes care of itself that way. So think of it like that if you're having struggles now with a local coordinate system. Maybe that'll happen. Okay, now we're going to talk about prefabs, and prefabs are prefabricated game objects, and that's something you should really consider using. Pretty much every game will be using prefabs that you make, and it'll save you a lot of time and hassle.
What
so
the
try to make sure
fuck?
you grasp the concept of this. Let's go back to the project folder here.
Anjing kayak alien, bahasa alien anjing.
Let's call this one prefabs.
He's using the language of God.
And if I drag this floor tile now, I just click on it in the hierarchy
Prefabs?
and then drag it into this folder.
What the
We've
fuck
created
is
a prefab.
it?
That's how simple it is. And you can see up here, it turned blue now, the floor tile and the child. And that's how Unity will tell you that this is actually a prefab that you've got. Let's
Prefab
try this prefab now that we
apaan,
created from the project folder. If I
No,
drag
no,
this
no,
floor
wait,
tile now,
wait,
just
wait,
click on
wait,
it in the
wait. Slow down, my boy.
Remember, let's keep it tidy now. We can double click to get into this folder.
Slow down, big man.
I'll just click on it in the hierarchy.
Big man.
Make sure
Wait.
prefabs. Remember, let's keep it tidy now. We can double click to get into this folder. And if I drag this, let's right click here.
Whoa.
Create a new folder again. And let's call this one prefabs.
Prefabs,
Remember, let's keep it
alright.
tidy now. We can double click to get into this folder. And if I drag this floor tile now, I'll just click on it in the hierarchy and then drag it into this folder. We've created our first prefab. That's how simple it is. And you can see up here, it turned blue now, the floor tile and the child. And that's how Unity will tell you that this is actually a prefab that you've got. Let's drag this prefab now that we've created from the project folder from our warehouse into the scene. And we can instantiate or create this prefab or an instance of this prefab now in our scene. And since
Wait, what?
the game is working in a three-dimensional space and our monitors only show 2 dimensions, it could be a little bit difficult to place this. It does help you a little bit because if you hit a collider, it will actually try to align it to that collider as you can see. So that can help you sometimes when you position it. So let's just drop it anywhere in the scene now, and it's automatically selected for us. And let's just manually change this position. Maybe we'll put it to x equals 3, 0, 0.
Yo.
Okay, let's make a smaller gap. Let's just put position 2 here. We've got 2 game objects now.
What?
They're based on the same prefab here. You can actually duplicate the objects here straight in your scene as well. If I select
Okay.
Control D here in the scene view, and if I hold
Ah.
the key and slide it, it'll actually snap it nicely in the coordinate system here. And we could snap move it to
Very
x,
nice,
3 here.
very
We can
nice.
Prefab instances here. And Unity will know that it was a prefab that you copied when we pressed Control D here. So it's still using, you can see that it's still blue here. And all of these 3 game objects now and their children are using this prefab. We want to keep things tidy, as I mentioned before, and we can see that in the hierarchy now we're starting to mess things up a little bit. It's starting to look a little bit messy, so we can fix that. Let's right click here in the hierarchy and create a new empty game object. We'll press F2 and let's rename it to level. And we can also manually, I like to keep all my objects, or placeholders or folder objects to 000 in the scene because then the children of that one will have.
Do we can open it?
Let's right click here in the hierarchy and create a new empty game object.
Create
We'll
empty
press F2
or
and then the children of that one will have the same coordinate that it will show in its transform will be the same as the world position. If your level object here is a little bit offset, it'll look a bit strange. So keep that in mind. Try to keep these folder objects to 000 in your scene. And then I can click on these,
What?
and then I can hold the control key and multi-select these objects here, and then we can drag them into the hierarchy of the level. And the beautiful thing now is that we can collapse this, so we can hide it. And out of sight, out of mind. Remember, you can also hold the
What?
key when I expand on this little triangle, and as you can see, it automatically also expanded the children here as well. So if you want to expand the whole, out of sight, out of mind, remember, you can also hold the alt key when I expand on this little triangle.
That's
And as you can see,
cool. Wait. All plus expand.
automatically also expand the
Okay.
children here as well. So if you want to expand the whole hierarchy, hold it
Nice.
when you press on these little triangles, and it'll collapse and decollapse. So what's the deal now with prefabs and why are they so useful? If I select this game object, we can see, let's expand this here as well. I've already messed it up again, but we can collapse this again. But if I select the floor tile, we can see that it has a box collider here. And if I look on the grass here, we can see that it also has a box collider. And when you're making a game, you want to try to reduce the number of colliders that you can. And for 2 reasons really. One of them is performance. The fewer colliders that you have, the better your game will perform, especially on mobile devices, for example. And also, it makes it a little bit less complex to work with fewer colliders. So you'll know a little bit better what the physics engine is up to and what could be colliding.
What? No, 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 no. I was fucking night dreaming, bro. It's night time right now, so it's night dreaming. Fuck.
One of them is performance.
What?
We can see that it also has a box collider. And when you're making a game, you want to try to reduce them. But if I select
What
floor
you
tile, we can see that it has a box collider. And if I look on the grass,
I'm lost.
here as well.
Slow down.
Again, but we can collapse this again. But if I select the floor tile, we can see that it has a box collider here. And if I look on the grass here, we can see that it also has a box collider. And when you're making a game, you want to try to reduce the number of colliders that you can. For 2 reasons really. One of them is performance. The fewer colliders that you have, the better your game will be.
Oh shit. So his point is that. Wait. Less box collider. Oh shit. Let's see if our game. How many box collider? Ooh, nice one. How about this one? Oh shit, 1, 2, 3. Fuck. What do we do? So yeah. What's your advice, Balding Man? Help me.
Especially on mobile devices, for example. And also, it makes it a little bit less complex to work.
Share your
So
voice.
you'll know a little bit better what the physics engine is up to
Wisdom.
and what could be colliding with what. So now we want to remove this grass collider, and we want to make sure that happens for all the game objects. So let's double click on this prefab now instead down here. And you can see that the background here turned blue.
Oh,
It's
damn.
different. And also here we've got in the hierarchy, we've got this title now saying floor tile, and we're actually in prefab editing mode now. And it won't show you anything from the scene, it'll just show you stuff that's related to this prefab. So let's go to the grass object here and see this box collider. We can right click on it and remove component. And now we've taken away the collider from the grass part, but the
Oh,
prefab
so we
still
don't-
has this bigger collider on it. If we click this little left arrow or back arrow here, now when we select these objects, we can actually expand all of these and see that none of these have the box collider anymore for the grass. So that's why prefabs are so useful. And you can make one. Imagine if you had 1,000 floor tiles in a level now, and you didn't use prefabs.
That's actually really
So
useful.
keep that in mind. Use prefabs and make the modifications to the prefab. The beautiful thing
Can
is
I
you
use?
can also override stuff.
Mungkin kita
So
coba
let's say
nanti.
this floor tile, we wanted the grass
Atau kita
to be
coba
full
sekarang.
of this one.
Ya coba, kita coba sekarang. Let's go. We learn something new. Prefabs, all prefabs. I don't have any prefabs. The finale. Oh, we actually have. What the fuck is it? Oh, okay. Grass palette. Oh, so this is a prefab. But one thing though, it's actually not that good because it doesn't have its own goddamn what's the name? Wait. I think I know. Is it a good idea to use tile palette then? Because with tile palette, ini, you see? God damn it, why is this thing? Maybe this is the wrong one. Dot final. Ah yeah. So when we use this, right? I don't think. Aku rasa. Kayak. Sorry. Habisnya. Dia aku taruh gini, oke? Aku bisa tembus. That's a problem. Aku tembus. Dan aku nak mau gitu. Aku pengen pas aku taruh langsung ada box collider di mana. Wait, is it good? I'll prefab. Mungkin prefab jauh lebih bagus ya. Atau ini aku bisa. Aku tahu. I know. No. Aku masukin ini ke sini. See? Fuck, damn it. Oke, aku masukin sini. Kasih box collider dulu. Wait, where is it? Again. Oh no. Harusnya kalau aku udah kayak gini, aku masukkan prefab atau aku drag ke sini kan. Ini prefab. Gini cara aku pakai prefab. Ya, jadi ini prefab. Gini cara aku pakai gambar lagi. God damn it, I'm stupid.
We created our first prefab. That's how simple it is. And you can see up here, it turned blue now, the floor tab B, and that's how Unity will tell you that this is actually a prefab that you've got. Let's drag this prefab now that we've created from the project folder, from our warehouse, into the scene, and we can instantiate or create this prefab.
Oh yeah. Oh ya, aku masukin prefab ke. Oh nggak bisa. Why? Why is that not possible? Oh man, god damn it. Tapi aku bisa taruh lagi di sini gitu. Oh kalian lihat, langsung ada. Oh god damn. Oh no, dia langsung ada apa namanya? Oh god damn. Dia langsung bisa langsung ada box collidernya gitu loh. Tapi nggak bisa pakai. God damn it. Bagus atau enggak sih kalau gitu? Prefab. Is it actually good? Dari poin dia tadi, you know what? Mungkin kita enggak. Nah, ya kita enggak pakai prefab. I've made up my mind. Hot dog guy.
Okay, we're fine.
Hot dog guy.
Or an instance of this prefab now in our scene. And since the game is working in a three-dimensional space and our monitors only show two dimensions, it could be a little.
We've seen this already.
And when you're making a game, you want to try to reduce the number of colliders that you can. For two reasons, really. One of them is performance. The fewer colliders that you have, the better your game will perform, especially on mobile devices, for example. And also, it makes it a little bit less complex to work with fewer colliders, so you'll know a little bit better what the physics engine is up to and what could be colliding with what. So now we want to remove this grass collider, and we want to make sure that happens for all the game objects. So let's double-click on this prefab now instead down here. And you can see that the background here turned blue. It looks a little bit different, and also here we've got in the hierarchy, we've got this title now saying floor tile, and we're actually in prefab editing mode now. And it won't show you anything from the scene, it'll just show you stuff that's related to this prefab. So let's go to the grass object here, and see this box collider, we can right-click on it and remove components. And now we've taken away the collider from the grass part, but the floor tile itself still has this bigger collider on it. If we click this little left arrow or back arrow here, now when we select these objects, we can actually expand all of these and see that none of these have the box collider anymore for the grass. So that's why the prefabs are so useful. And you can make one. Imagine if you had 1,000 floor objects, and instead of going into the prefab, now we're actually in this instance of this prefab. So we've selected in the scene view here.
We're not going to use this,
so the Y
guys.
scale
So I'll skip this one.
and it's got overrides, and here's a list as well that could be useful. That you
Oh,
can see
okay. What the? Where's
You can
that?
apply to prefab if you want to apply to all the instances, but quite often control Z out of that one. Sometimes we just want to see that it's actually overriding a value. We can right click here now and do either revert if we want to go back to make sure that it's the same as
What?
here. Bold, and it's got a little blue mark here.
Oh no.
The new UI here, but it went bold, and you can also see that just the Y position or the Y component for the scale here turned bold. And this is how we can see that it's actually overriding a value. We can right click here now and do either revert if we want to go back to make sure that it was the same as
okay.
prefabs. It's quite often that you want to do that. You can also do right click and apply to prefab if you want to apply to all the instances. But quite often, sometimes we just want to override a value.
That's
You can
neat.
do this pretty much anywhere. You can change the material
Pretty cool.
for this one, and you can see it turns bold and it's got this little blue thing here. So that's why when we know that we're overriding it. If we click the parent group here, we can see that there's something here in the inspector, and it's got overrides. And here's a list as well that could be useful. That you can see which overrides are currently in effect. You can revert them all or apply them all, for example, or if you want to just check them, change them, that's possible to do here. And here's a little shortcut as well to select the prefab.
God damn, prefab's really cool though.
So there are a few shortcuts for you.
But I think
Okay, so
we're
let's
doing
go
it
prefab editing mode, and
smarter
let's also revert this one. We don't want the grass to be
this
there.
way, you know, like this. It's a lot smarter doing it this way. Look at this. So he told us, right? God, what the? What did I do? What did I do? What did I do? Hey, what the fuck? What the fuck? Copy. Let's copy that. Ah, god damn it. Alright. So, you see, if we do prefabs, right? That means how many dirts do we have? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Kita ada 10 dirt. We have 10 dirts. That means there will be 10 box collider. But instead of 10 box colliders, we have only what the one box collider for 10 dirt. So I think we're doing it better than him. I know if that's true. I think it's going to be harder to code it though. Nah, it's not, because we already have the kita udah ada ground ini, kita bisa pakai jadi lebih gampang.
Oh boy, torture round 2.
Aku rasa yang perlu kita ubah ini, kalau dari platformnya bakal lebih convenient, lebih gampang if kita pakai prefab. That's what I think. Okay? Yeah. Jadi kita nggak pakai prefab buat ground, tapi kita pakai prefab buat platform. Very nice. We learn new stuff. What the fuck? Okay. Back to what the heck? Oh no. Project X. Oh goddamn. What's happening? Yeah. We Gucci.
Green there for that matter on the other side.
Alright.
Let's press play again. See if
1 hour and 30 minutes
a lot of stuff here. Can't jump, can't
to
do
go.
Can't do anything. We just got a bunch of tiles. So,
Very nice. Very
so I'm gonna
nice.
see if we can make this game a little bit more fun. First of all, remember out of sight, out of mind. So let's collect the level for now, and let's right click in the hierarchy and create a 3D object. So
Okay, I
let's
think
And
we're
when
pretty
creating games,
close
especially your first one, don't start modeling a lot of complex stuff in Blender with
to
animations,
coding
start
now.
Keep it simple like this, I suggest.
Because
So,
gara-gara
so
udah ada
boxes,
player,
so
because
you
there's
can
player
capture,
now.
leave it up for now. It's really good
That
to keep it so
means
simple. Just
we
so you can
want
and then you can
move
gradually upgrade the game
one.
by replacing this capsule with an actual
Chill out, boy.
So, no
Wait.
problem. So now we're going to add a player to see if we can make this game a little bit more fun. First of all, remember out of sight, out of mind. So let's collect the level for now, and let's right click in the hierarchy and create a 3D object. And this time, let's create a capsule. And when you create games, especially your first one, don't start modeling a lot of complex stuff in Blender with walk animations and try to bring those in. Keep it simple like this, I suggest. So the games, especially your first one, don't start modeling a lot of complex stuff in Blender with walk animations and try to bring those in.
Okay. I think we're doing everything wrong. Kayak semua yang dia bilang kayak yang disarankan kayak kita lakukan the opposite, kita lakukan kebalikannya. God damn it. God fucking damn it.
Keep it simple like this.
We're fucked.
Tiles, they're just boxes. They're
We're fucked. No, don't
really
worry.
keep it so simple, just so you get the basics down. And then you can gradually upgrade your game by replacing this capsule with an actual maybe a sliding player and then maybe a walking player in the end. But we're gonna make a capsule now, so that's what I recommend.
That's a cool
Let's
game.
manually type in the transform here to 000 to begin with to have it center in the scene.
I can make a game like that. Yeah, this is what I mean. The surroundings, right, looks 3D,
Brainless said dev.
but the Brainless say dev. But fuck, what was I saying? Anjing kamu, Ben. Lupa saya kan. Bentar. So, maaf Ben. So, yeah, surrounding barang-barangnya 3D. Yeah.
This is
Barang-barang
24
3D.
hours Cinderella.
Ya, nah itu aja. Ya, let's go. Halo Ben. What up? Kasihan Febri Ben. Lihat Febri.
We're gonna make a capsule now, so that's why I recommend this one. Let's manually type in the transform here to 000 to begin with to have it.
Apa? Kenapa Benjamin?
Kamu lagi ngapain?
Lagi live stream. Lagi menonton cara the most basic tutorial I'll ever make. Learn Unity dan coding. Aku tidak mengerti. Susah sekali, Cok. Aku kayak pertama kali masuk codingnya, aku kayak benar-benar nggak ngerti, jauh sekali dengan Python. Aku kayak what the fuck am I doing? Dia bilang si apa namanya?
C++ C.
Hashtag punya. Itu.
Oh ada, ya ada.
Itu pakai yang itu. Aku nggak ngerti sama sekali, Ben.
Yang belajar tuh.
Ya itu. So that's what I'm doing right now. Lagi belajar, Ben. Tapi anak ini kayak kasih tahu hal-hal basic dulu di Unity dan aku kayak harusnya aku tahu, tapi aku takut dia kasih tahu sesuatu yang penting.
In the scene. And now it's in the same location as this tile, so we can move it a little bit in the air, and that's okay. We can have it drop fall down. Gravity will bring them down to the ground in a minute. But it's also a little bit big for being a player, maybe compared to this.
Suruh main
Oh, TBK kapan, Ben? Belasan ya?
21.
Oh, 21. Good luck. Halo anak Bandung. Ben, dipanggil Doni, Ben.
Halo Doni.
Kok Bandung ya? Bandung itu di mana? Sulawesi.
Itu.
Aku tahu.
Sebelah itunya agak barat timurnya Korea Barat sebenarnya.
Oh,
Barat timur tengahnya.
Barat timur tengah. Baik. Siap. Barat timur tengah.
Ya.
Makasih, Ben. Aku cari kok Bandung. Bom. Maaf, kena cancel aku. Bapak deh. Bandung ada di mana? Kau benar lagi di Bandung kan, Ben?
Ada, kok di rumah.
Rumah aku di Bandung kan, Ben?
Ada rumahku di rumahku.
Ayo, hampir kena dox.
Baik.
Oh, di Mount Everest, Cok. Ini mana? Bandung. Oh. Goblok Bandung. Bener, Bandung. West Java. Ya, dekat Sulawesi itu. Jadi nggak terlalu jauh aku tebaknya. Nggak terlalu jauh lah aku tebak. Deket banget. Nah, nih. Lihat, nah aku bisa pakai salah tangan aku. Lihat. Segini aja. Itu sampai.
Ya.
Oh, Banjarmasin sana. What the fuck?
Belajar geografi dah katanya.
Wow. Gunung Kerinci. Oke, aku takut kayak siapa tahu ada bencana lo aku tak tahu harusnya. Ini Gunung Kerinci ada apa ya? Ini rencana belajar loh. Ya belajar geografi. Ntar ini ada apa di? Nah, udah amat lah. Yuk. Back to coding.
So let's change the scale to 0.5, 0.5. Maybe we'll keep it white.
What the shit?
This might doesn't have to be there because so let's change the scale to 0.5, 0.5. Maybe we'll keep it white. Down to ground in a minute. But it's also a little bit big for being a player compared to the tile. So let's change the scale to 0.5, 0.5. Maybe we'll keep it white. And 2. Also, this might big for being a player compared to the tile. So let's change the scale to 0.5, 0.5.
Wow.
And now it's in the same location as this tile, so we can move it a little bit in the air, and that's okay. We can have it drop fall down. Gravity will bring them down to the ground in just a minute. But it's also a little bit big for being a player compared to the tile. So let's change the scale to 0.5, 0.5.
What?
With an actual maybe sliding player, and then maybe a walking player. But we're gonna make a capsule now, so that's what I recommend this one. Let's manually type in the transform here to 000 to begin with, and so you can see.
Apa?
Tidak.
Kalau Anda mau tidur,
Tidak.
What? Anjir Pepen. Kenapa Pepen? Ya foto dia. Baik.
And now it's in the same location as this tile, so we can move it up a little bit in the air, and that's okay, we can have it drop fall down there. Gravity will bring it down to the ground in just a minute. But it's also a little bit big for being a player compared to the tile, so let's change the scale to 0.5, 0.5, 0.5.
Oke, kenapa dia?
In the scene.
What the fuck?
And now it's in the same location as this tile, so we can move it up a little bit in the air, and that's okay, we can have it drop fall down there. Gravity will bring it down to the ground in just a minute. But it's also a little bit big for being a player compared to the tile, so let's change the scale to
Oke.
0.5.
Aku kira kenapa dia ubah jadi scale 0,5. Rupanya gara-gara anjing.
0.5. Maybe we'll keep the y at an even 2 here. So. Also, this light doesn't have to be there to annoy you. Because it's a directional light. It doesn't really matter where it's
Kok aku males sih deh, fuck lah.
Oh boy.
Males apa?
Wow, wow, wow.
Oh, Bandung kanan Jakarta. Terima kasih Doni.
She's into superstitions, black cats and voodoo dolls. I
Belajar lagi deh.
Belajar lagi. Nggak apa, Cok. Tebakan aku nggak terlalu jauh, Ben. Kau jangan gitu amat lah. Jangan menghiperbola, Ben.
Baik.
You can always still have the same angle of the light, so you can just move that one out of the select our player. Let's rename this one something called capsule.
Baik.
Let's do it one more time. Let's press play and see if this is something. Nope. Okay, so what can we do to improve this? Well, we should be adding some physics now. Since it's a platformer, we want the player to be falling down and hitting the tiles and fall off the road with the illusion fly. We're going to add a component now called the illusion body. The illusion body.
Itu si Firdaus gimana?
I'm going to put a set on the floor. I'll put my back in.
Firdaus apa?
But in this case, that's the focus. So we can
Kok aku jarang dengar dia gitu. Oh ya, fokus belajar dia kan? Fokus belajar.
Harus hidup ini menghina kamu ya.
Enggak, aku nggak menghina. Ben,
Parah ya kamu ya.
maaf.
Siapa yang baru masuk tadi itu?
Apa?
Yang baru masuk siapa tadi?
Oh, ada gak?
Parah, langsung keluar.
Aku lagi itu mod streamer mode. Nggak kedengaran.
add components. We can type in here, live in.
Parah deh.
3D1 to remain.
Live in la vida loca.
By default, it gets a massive 1 kilogram.
Maaf.
Like that. We also have a few other things like should we apply gravity and just
Parah sih.
and should it have drag? No, it doesn't have to have drag at the moment. So that's air resistance and things like that. Just keep everything default and let's press play.
God bless.
Halo.
And we can see now
Hello.
the player or capsule just fell down and hit the ground. So it's already unity.
Who's that?
It's already
Who's that?
you know, so it's still not a fun game. But at least we fell from the sky and hit the ground. So we finally got some movement in our game.
Right,
Isn't that amazing?
right,
We
right.
still can't control it, so it's not a game, but at least something moved.
Right,
So what this rigid body thing is doing now, it's got a massive 1 kilogram, it's applying gravity, and it's pulling this capsule, our player, down towards the ground, and this capsule collider is colliding with this box collider. And when it's doing that, it's preventing it from pushing through the box collider. We can actually switch back into the scene view now. You can independently go through the game view and the scene view when you play. Look at them at the same time. So this capsule collider, you can even modify it here. We're still in play mode as you can see up here, and if I drag this capsule up, it'll drop down, drag it up, drop down, drag it up. If I drag it to the side,
Oh.
it'll follow it. So that's pretty nifty in Unity. You can actually modify the game scene as you're playing the game. If you want to test something, you can reposition it without having to stop and start the game. Keep that in mind, you can modify stuff in the scene view as the game is playing.
Baik.
Let's restart it. Pause it here. I can still move it through here and see. And then, yeah, pretty happy with that. Let's unpause it and see what happens. And that's useful to know as well. And also, when you come out of play mode, it'll reset it to the way everything was before you press play because you don't want the game to remember how it was when you stopped the game. Let's play dice, for example. You'll have everything reset. So Unity also does that for you. When you press play again or stop button in that place, it'll reset everything to the way the level starts, or the scene starts. Just to remember now, before the days of Unity and the other game engines, there wasn't such a thing as a built-in physics engine. If you wanted something to fall down to the ground, you first had to code the parts that
Hi.
apply to the game. So it's become a lot easier nowadays, luckily enough, to make games. So we can focus on our creativity instead of coding a physics engine.
We can focus on the fuck anak ini ngomong cepat kali.
Built-in reset everything to the way the level starts, or the scene starts.
Mau
Just remember now, before the days of Unity and the other
lagi
game
kamu
engines,
ya.
there wasn't such a thing. Reset everything to the way the level starts, or the scene starts. Just remember now, before the days of Unity and the other game engines, there wasn't such a thing as a
Oh, oke.
in the physics engine. If you
Oh,
want something
okay.
to fall down to the ground, you first have to code the part that drops there that apply the physics to the game. So it's become a lot easier nowadays, luckily enough, to make games. So we can focus on our creativity instead of coding a physics engine. But that's something you're interested in, so that's what we're about.
Gimana kabar
Okay,
kita?
we're going to be adding some
Hi,
music
hi.
inputs. So for our game to be fun, we have to
Hi,
have a
hi.
and that's gonna be
User
all
input, what the fuck is this?
But still, don't worry about it. If you haven't created any scripts before, or if that's been scaring you off all the
Udah
time, don't let it scare you off, because a script can be
Apa? Oh anjir, ramai. Halo guys, me with the boys. Vida loca.
very simple and easy. And you can learn more and more as you go along. That's how I learned scripting. I started to think, actually, this is exactly what I did the first time I tried to make a game. I wanted something to happen. So I created 2 boxes, and I wanted one box to hit the other one, and then I just gradually increased my scripting skills that way. So don't be afraid. We'll get through this. Don't worry about it. You'll repeat it, you'll learn it, and you'll get there. So have I convinced you to continue now? So we're going to do something at a very basic level now, and I recommend using C#. That seems to be the most common scripting language
C#
in Unity, and it's also very versatile and useful in other cases. So I recommend that you learn that one. A lot of stuff that you do Google searches for will return results for C# scripts for you.
Halo. Wait, what the fuck? Anda bilang apa?
There's also JavaScript. I used
There's also JavaScript, huh?
versatile and useful in other cases. So I recommend that you learn that one. A lot of
I recommend that you learn that
stuff that
one.
you do
A
Google
lot of
search for
stuff that you do Google search
results
it
for
will.
C#. There's also
For
JavaScript.
scissor. Oke. Saran dia pakai Google. Baik.
I used to start with that one.
Oke.
Switch to C# I find that one to be a lot more.
Jadi nge-Google Core tuh kayak normalize sekali, Cok. Di normalize sama coder. God damn. Alright. Very nice.
So tahu kamu differentiate ngaji kata kamu. Kamu nggak belajar kan? Terus memahami konsep deh.
The group as a whole.
Ya ini lagi memahami konsep Benjamin.
Ya,
Tapi kalau
tutorial di YouTube bagi live stream parah loh.
iya ini kan memahami konsep.
Parah aku kira.
Bodoh amat coy. Kalian nih. Istirahat aku lagi nyanyi.
Stream konten orang parah.
Iya.
Parah sih.
Gak apa-apa, kan mau belajar. Belajar bersama.
Sebenarnya capek-capek bikin videonya ya kan. Dicukai sama orang ini bisa di love semula.
Nah ini namanya mempopulerkan lagi. Kau lihat nih, kan udah stop gaining views. Aku kayak datang as a chivalry gitu. Dia kayak
Baik.
Snow White aku.
Cukai.
Ini siapa?
Apa?
Didi ini siapa?
Didi Benjamin. Doni.
Doni. Parah.
Oh itu lama kali kau di WC. Katanya ngomong AML.
Baik.
Oh,
Itu nonton nih.
berbal
Ada
aku.
free kah?
Ada kah?
Toke
Halo,
bagaimana bertemu dengan Pak Kuang tadi Toke?
Pak Kong lagi makan dengan Pak Anto.
Kau ngapain ke? Balik ke rapat kah?
Raport kayak
Aku
apa?
harus sekolah. Aku rindu Pak.
Oh,
Ih,
Benar-benar.
Iya. Kok tak kayak gitu loh? Kan jalan pagi.
parah. Kita tak percaya Cok, Toke rindu sekolah.
Aku rindu sekolah, jalan pagi sekolah.
Ih, parah.
ganteng banget kawanku. Bangun jam berapa kamu? Gara
Jam 8 lewat.
bangun jam 8 hanya buat ke sekolah. Sian.
Lebih siang dari masuk sekolah.
Gak apa.
Sekolah aja baru jam 6.
Ntar is called before the first frame update. What the fuck?
Ini aku ngecek orang lewat 5 detik.
Please. Orangnya bakal jelasin void apa enggak ya? God damn it. Operator apa enggak? Komen.
Ngomong jelasin ini dong bang.
Wait, orangnya
Jangan bahasa Inggris kayak bahasa Indo.
baik. Komen apa?
Komen ajarin ini dong bang.
Ajarin apa?
Lu komennya pakai bahasa Indo.
What?
Apa ya? Melestarikan bahasa Indonesia.
Tidak kedengaran.
Parah loh.
Parah loh.
Maaf, istriku lagi
Mana
nyanyi
bisa
nih.
Aduh,
Udah
istrinya.
keluar air mata ya.
Aduh,
Maaf,
siapa itu?
saya
Halo.
harus memprioritaskan istriku. Bentar. Siapa tuh? Oh, halo Feb.
Weh, Feb, ML Feb.
Of course, script created. So you have to mention as well that if you go to edit, preferences, then you'll have external tools here, and my external script editor is Visual Studio.
Ah.
It's
Bri.
free to use for anyone.
Keren.
Maybe that's all that is supported nowadays. It used to be mono.
Ben satu.
I recommend that you use Visual Studio anyway. It's a great editor. So when you double click on the script and it loaded in Visual Studio, you're actually looking at the first.
Nggak ada Jo, min
Again, don't be scared.
satu.
We'll go through this and you'll nail it.
Ada Jo-nya.
Script is all about. Just skip forward. But for those of you who've seen a script for the first
Ada,
time,
aku cari dulu. Nggak main.
You can fast forward to other sections if you want to skip ahead. So I'm going to start from the top here.
Alright.
The first thing that we see here is this keyword called using. And
Jadi
it says
aku
using system
kemarin
collections. And it says using
kalian
collections generic. And it says
tahu
using
nggak?
Unity engine. And this is something that's called declaring the namespace. And again, you don't really have to learn this in much detail, but I'll tell you anyway. Because I'm
Oke,
and it loaded in Visual Studio.
let's slow down a bit, big man. Bentar.
You're actually looking at the first
Kemarin kalah
script that
semua.
Unity created. Clicked on this script more. I recommend that you use Visual Studio anyway. It's a great editor. So when we double clicked on this script and it loaded in
merah
Visual
semua.
Studio, you're actually looking at the first script that Unity created.
Merah 3 ya.
And again, don't be scared.
Apa tuh merah
Go
tuh?
through it.
Young man.
Ini merah.
Merah.
Sleigh bells are
Hmm.
ringing. Are you listening? In the lane, snow is glistening. A
Mending main chat.
walking in a
Mending main Genshin game 4.
gone away
Game 4.
is the blue.
Kok masih main Genshin ke?
Here to stay is the new bird.
Ih, game ibu, parah.
Masih answer the question Toke.
Walking in a
Hahaha.
wonderland.
Masih main atau enggak?
Ah.
Look at this poor soul. Bless your soul, Toke. I know you're in a rough place right now.
Anjing ini botnya jago banget.
This and you'll nail it in the end. If you know what this default script is all about, just skip forward. But for those of you who've seen it for the first time, I'm actually going to go through this with you. But I'll timestamp everything in the description so you can fast forward to other sections. if you want.
Okay.
Botnya jago aku bilang. Anjing,
Oh, the timestamp. God damn it. Adding a string code, skip. Okay, creating your first script. Visual Studio script. Using keyword.
3 kali merah sih, iya mantap.
What is class? Oh, nice. That's what I want to know.
So I'm going to start from the top here, and the first thing that we see here is this keyword called
Jangan menyerah katanya,
using
Febri.
system collections, and it says using
Aku
collections
top rankernya semua itu, Bang.
Unity engine, and this is something that's
Nice,
called
Feb.
declaring the namespace.
Jangan
And
menyerah
again,
lagi,
you don't
Feb.
really have to learn this in much
Main
detail,
sama
but I'll
nggak
tell
ada
you anyway
carry.
because I want to leave
DMK.
this stone unturned. The first thing I do, and then use.
Thank you very much.
Kalau ada
But
perbedaan
if we
rank
have
tuh
this
ada.
using Unity engine here, it's just telling the
Parah tuh,
engine,
Pe.
or it's telling
Aku main di
Unity
habitat
what
aku.
namespace to use. Just to demonstrate, if I were to take this line away, let's just delete it. You can
Parah sih tuh, ada beda.
see that something happened here. This one turned red squiggly. It doesn't understand mono behavior. Okay, what's that? And that's because that was hiding in this Unity engine namespace. And what that is basically, it's a collection of lots of stuff that you can do in your script.
Baik,
So it just knows to look without having to type it. If I were to type in here,
Differentio.
Unity,
Kenapa?
Yang tidak jadi default.
Baik. Hayu.
Emang tuh Ben, emang.
Kenapa, cuy?
Masuk libur gue.
Lagi fokus ini. Kenapa, ada apa?
Kau udah nggak main game?
Siapa? Aku.
Benjamin.
Benjamin.
Kamu main game apa di sini? Ada sih.
Bilang ya.
Apa
Benjamin.
kemarin main Wild Rift dia?
Iya,
Udah ipo nggak, Feb?
Kayaknya lah, ini iPhone lah.
period.
Baik.
Then it's
Oh, yeah.
But you don't necessarily want to have to type this all the time. Unity engine period.
Kau beli HP apa, Ben?
Period something. Unity engine period something.
Iya.
Oh, 13 ya.
Benar-benar apa Ben?
Apa, Ben?
Ya, yang wajar-wajar sedikit lah.
Ya, iPhone 11 buat kau kan wajar.
Wajar. Orang aneh.
Wah, wajar banget. Tuh, dia
Orang aneh yang pakai kata Ben parah.
Parah.
Bukan itu iPhone yang di bawahnya dikit. 12 lah nih.
11 kah Ben?
Iya,
iPhone 11.
Ah,
Kau beli yang second kah?
64 kah?
Hah?
Status 8.
Nggak berapa.
bukan ngasih di masa di bawah.
12 kan?
Aduh,
256 ya.
Wow. Kameranya 3.
10 kah Ben?
Beh,
Video cuma dipakai satu ya.
nggak apa.
Beda
Keren.
lagi kameranya.
9 lebih Ben.
Multifunction.
Mana ada untuk kamera ya tuh?
Oh iya kah?
Ya emang.
Punya kau nggak pro, Ben?
Nggak pro, mau di train dulu.
Anjing.
Ya, kau di-score
mahal,
dulu.
Cok.
That's the whole
Yeah,
reason
oh,
for
that's
this
right. Apa lo?
using statement here.
Masih
Using
besar
Unity
HP-nya.
engine.
Masa iPhone 11 Note tuh?
And as you
Nanti
learn
saya
scripting,
beli
you'll find
iPhone
that you want to bring
13
stuff more
Pro
into
aja
this
software.
using stuff by adding, maybe you want
Ah,
some
sudah,
UI
sudah.
stuff, for example, that would be needing to use
Sudah berubah. Saya
Unity
terlalu
engine.ui, for example.
terlalu tidak bagus.
So again, don't be afraid of this. It's just here to make the script a little bit simpler, and just keep these as default for now. The second thing I should
Alright.
mention here is the semicolon, and all the lines in C# ends with a semicolon, and that's how you differentiate from a new line. And just as I say that, I realize that not every line ends with a semicolon, because when you have stuff
Keren
down
banget,
here,
keren
like
banget,
a
keren banget.
method, which is a
Keren
function,
banget,
then
parah
it doesn't
oke.
need this, but every command inside this function will
Ada
need
apa
it.
yang tulis?
So you'll have to
Iya,
get a little bit
oke,
used to
aku
when
sih
to
nggak
use
tahu.
it and when not to use it, but most of the
Aku sih
time
nggak tahu itu cuma
you'll have to put a semicolon.
benda
And
What the
that's
fuck?
a common
Dan
mistake when you write code
dan
later on. You'll find out
Ngapa,
you've
ngapa,
missed it.
Dia main
Luckily enough,
kir-kir ini
the
bener,
common
anjing.
went in here, like a method, which is a
Tak bersama.
semicolon, and that's how you
Ayo apa
differentiate
ayo?
from
Oh, iPhone
and
iPhone
just
mu
as
bisa
I say
lihat
that, I
ya.
realize that not every line ends with a semicolon, because when you have stuff down here, like a method, which is a function, then it doesn't need this, but every command inside
Aku
this
tak tahu
function will
bacinya
need it.
apa,
So
baci.
you'll have to get a little
Ah.
bit used to when to use
Got
it,
it, got it,
and
got
when
it.
not to use it. Colon, you could theoretically do this. You could actually move
Yep.
this line
Aku
onto
Good.
here,
isi
and this
mana
one
ni
up to
punya.
here, and
Mm.
it'll still
Cash
work
dan
this
kayak
way,
uang.
because the semicolons was telling that
cash.
something new is coming. It's not the line feed itself, but it's not very common to use it like this. So let's just keep it like this. You want to separate the lines. It's very rare that you want to
Oh,
put multiple
aku
things on
punya
the
satu
same line.
alasan sih
Just
kenapa
keep it
beli
tidy.
F3
Okay,
dah-
so the next
dah
line here,
dah
we've got
hapus
something called
2020.
public
Ah,
class.
susah kok caranya udah setahun lalu lah.
And a class is basically
So,
a collection
udah
of
benar-benar
variables and
diskon ni, coba ditarik
functions
kita.
that the
Iya, Mas.
object-oriented
Ah,
language of C#
bukan
can use.
ditarik dan
in script.
diproduksi lagi.
Let's just
Jadi
keep it simple as that. We don't have to
Apanya?
demystify it more than that at the
Tapi
moment.
kata dia
But
ni,
remember when we
Iya.
pertama dia
created the
bilang
script,
discontinue kan,
named
habis
it
itu ada,
player,
habis itu kayak aku ke
Unity
telepon terakhir
automatically
udah nggak ada,
named it
soalnya
as
barangnya
player.
udah ditarik katanya.
And we don't
Buat
have to
barang
worry
beli,
about this
barang
too
ini
much
mesti
more now.
ditarik,
Let's
tahu lah.
just keep in mind
Jadi
now
kalau
that we
dia
can
bilang
in this
kalau-
class,
kalau
inside
mau-
this class,
Ya, F3.
have different
Kalau
type
kau nyari di
variables
mana
and
pun nggak akan
functions to store
nggak akan
values,
ada,
and we can have some functions
kalau
to
ada
do
pun
stuff
itu
like
pasti ada
jumping
barang
and
bekas punya.
Before we
Kalau
move on
ditarik
now, we
kayak
should
gitu, berarti
actually
barang
add this
gagal lah.
script, which is also a component to our player.
bagus ya.
I've minimized the Visual
Saya
Studio
nggak
here and
tahu,
back into our
pokoknya
project
intinya
folder.
Apa,
I'll take
udah
this
capek
script now.
cari-cari.
Now
Kan
click my
ditarik
left mouse
ya.
button and drag it
Oh, shit.
onto the player.
Punya Mun apa, Ben?
And that automatically adds this
Bukan-
one. If we
bukan
select the
yang
player
aku
now, we
cari,
can scroll
Ben.
down. We see we have the transform, the mesh filter, mesh renderer,
F3 udah tidak
texture
ada.
collider, rigid body, and
Oh.
now, pow,
Yang
a
dia-
new
Bola.
component.
Suruh beli.
And this is
Mereka
our
suruh
players.
beli yang kemarin yang
And
aku
what's
tanya tuh
important here
Pep,
as well
yang
is that
dibilang
the
Pepen
name
jelek.
here
Dah lah,
of the
tak mau lah kan
class
seperti
Langsung
needs to
A5
be the
ya.
same as the C#
Bukan
script.
yang
Let's say you want to
11T,
change this
11T
one,
gitu.
and it was called Hero
katanya-
instead or something. Control S. to
Gara-gara
save it.
gara-gara softwarenya
I go
dia
back
di
here,
downgrade kan,
We can see
jadi
here
nggak
that it's
full performa.
shortened a little bit. We've got a little
Jadi harus
exclamation
lebih
point. The
bagus
associated
yang-
script cannot be loaded. Please fix
Iya.
any compiler errors
Lebih bagus
inside
F3
the valid
dibandingkan
script.
benda itu.
And
Gitu.
keep
Itu-
in
itu
mind, if you
di
get some error
persen-
like that,
chipsetnya
because
kena
the
limit
name
kan?
here
Iya
of the
kan?
Ah, iya.
class
Iya,
needs to be
iya.
Ah
the
iya
same.
itu supaya nggak terlalu panas itu. Kalau nggak,
Iya, gara-gara overheat
And
kemarin.
if I rename that one,
Habis.
press Control S.
Iya,
Select
Mungkin
player,
ada.
Alright.
Ada dah.
disappeared.
Kan F3.
If you
Oh,
did wanna
bukannya
rename
ada
this
bentar
on the
lagi
class,
F4 kan?
Click
Harusnya.
here on the class
F4
name,
belum
press
keluar, dia baru
F2,
keluar
which is the
internasional
shortcut to
gitu.
rename,
Oh.
and then type it in here instead. You can see that
Ditarik
it's turned a
supaya
little bit
jangan
cyan color or
harganya.
light blue. We'll type hero there
Sorry.
when we press
supaya
F2,
dia supaya
remember
beli
that.
F4.
And now when we go back into
Jadi
Unity, you
ntar
can
itu
see that
dua.
it'll do some work, and
Tiga
it actually
lagi.
re-imported it. It renamed the C# file now to
Iya,
hero,
Pak.
and
Aku
it
mau
will
cari
work
itu
again.
kan.
The player now
Bingung
has the
mau
component
beli yang
called
mana
hero
nih?
instead.
Ah,
Very nice.
Let's go
udah.
back. We wanted to keep it
Neat.
named
Tahun
player, so
capek
F2
dah.
again and press enter. Okay, so we've got one more thing on this line that we didn't demystify yet, and that's this :mono behavior. What the is that?
Dapat warna apa kok, Ben?
So a class can inherit something from a parent class, a little bit like the game object, the child grass game
Sasannya
object that inherited the location of the parent, for example, and then
What the
applied
Itu
its
aja
fuck?
sih kayak pengecas
custom,
saya kemarin yang bersyukur.
local location.
So,
Oh
But in
iya.
the same way, this
Berapa? Nggak ada cah.
Pengecas
player
berapa?
class that we've just
Pengecas
created
pada beli.
is inheriting from something
Pengecas
called
gratis
mono
soalnya.
behavior.
Punya.
And mono behavior is Unity predefined.
siapa?
It's a whole
Punya
bunch
dia
of toolkits that is
Nggak
contained
hancur
within this
kan nanti
parent class.
itu.
It'll have so many things.
Oh,
When you
okay.
look in the
Enggak,
Unity
aman
documentation
katanya.
later
Kakakku
on,
pakai
pretty much
merek
anything
lain
that you
juga.
can do in the scripting language that's relating to
Apa?
Unity specific
Angker.
things, it's inherited
Yeah.
through this mono behavior. behavior. You could also have
Pendeknya
classes
kita
that
Alright.
don't have this
sama
inheritance,
iPhone-nya kan.
I don't get
but
it.
then you'll lose out on all of those
Sebenarnya
nice features.
jujur
I kinda get it,
Before, when you create
but not really.
mono behavior here,
Maybe,
it's like-
maybe. So public class player mono behavior, right? So after mono behavior, we have the thing the what bracket?
Kau
It's-
coba
it's
cek
called
dulu
bracket.
masih aman.
Let's just call it bracket.
Baterai
Yung
99 dah.
yang
Aduh,
yang gini.
sih. Aduh.
Udah senang
So-
sebenarnya.
Tidak, yang tadi kan using Unity Engine itu bisa bantu kita biar apa namanya? Biar enggak apa namanya?
Siapa maksud?
Biar bisa pakai code Unity Engine. Lalu mono behavior itu buat class player,
Kabelnya ada
kita
kan
bisa
harusnya.
pakai banyak sekali
Udah.
code.
Anjing kok tarik
Itu kan
kabel,
nih.
tak usah beli benda.
Biar bisa isi banyak benda. Mono behavior kayak ada void start, void update apa itu kayak fitur dari mono behavior. Is that how it works? I don't know. What the fuck?
to Unity specific things, it's inherited through this mono behavior.
Saya tidak mengerti.
Your class that we've just created is inheriting from something called mono behavior.
Okay, wait.
What's this colon mono behavior? What the is that?
What the
So-
is that? Yeah,
A
indeed.
class can inherit something from a parent class. A little bit like the game object, the child grass game object.
Wait,
A
what?
class can inherit something from a parent class. A little bit like the game
Aye.
object, the child grass
Yeah,
game
over
object
respect,
inherited the
man.
location of the parent, for example, and then applied its own little custom local location. But in the same way, this player class that we've just created is inheriting from something called mono behavior.
Wait,
Inherited
back
the
up,
location of
back
the
up.
Baru
parent,
bayar
for example.
di tempat.
The game object, the child grass game object that inherited the location of the parents, for example.
Yeah,
A little bit like the game object, the child grass game object that inherited.
Child grass game object? What are you talking about, my brother? Big man, what the fuck? That inherited the parents object location. What are you talking about? Mono behavior? What the fuck is that? Yeah.
Inherit something from a parent class. A little bit like the game object, the child grass game object that inherited the location of the parents, for example, and then applied its own little custom local location. But in the same way, this player class that we've just created
I don't get it.
is inheriting from something called
I
mono
think
behavior.
I got a
Mono
little bit of
behavior
it,
is a Unity
but I don't know if it's
predefined
right or not.
bunch of toolkits that is contained within this parent class. It'll have so many
ada
things.
loh.
When you look
Because it's really weird. Sangat aneh. Saya bingung. What the fuck? Man, I don't know.
in the Unity
Let's
documentation,
stop stalling.
pretty much anything
God
that
damn
you
it, what
do
the-
in the
the fuck?
scripting language that's relating to Unity specific things, it's inherited through this mono behavior. You could also have classes that don't have this inheritance, but then you'll lose out on all of those nice features. As I mentioned before, when you
feature.
create the default
Masih
script,
fokus
the
lu.
mono behavior here is by default. So let's just keep it there and see what it can bring us. And then we have this squiggly bracket. And when you've defined a class like this, like our player class, it has to start and stop by these squiggly brackets. Open bracket and close bracket. And now we get to something called a method.
Oh, it is
here.
called bracket.
So we've got something that
Nice.
was also pre-configured here. It says void start, open close normal bracket. And this is called a method. And in other programming languages, it's usually called a function, but the C# name for this is a method. And,
Okay.
This line was also included kindly by Unity, and it says start is called before the first frame update. And here is actually something that this mono behavior now brought us. Since we're inheriting from mono behavior contains a whole bunch of these type of methods that we can use.
I guess I was right.
And as it says
Yeah.
here, this start method will be called the first thing basically when you press play and we have our capsule now, our player created here. It'll run this automatically. Whatever is inside these squiggly marks here of this method, it'll run that piece of code and it'll only do it once, and then it'll move on. And usually when you create a method,
Wait, what?
it does it once. And the marks here of the created here, it'll run this automatically. Whatever is inside these squiggly marks here of this method, it'll run that piece of code and it'll only do it once.
Anehnya dia kayak
And then
pakai
it'll move on.
bluetooth gitu
And
anjir.
usually, when you create a method, it doesn't have this automatic run feature. That's something that's quite specific for Unity now. If you had created your own
Menghack
method here, let's
iPhone
call
bentar lagi kayaknya bisa kena blokir
jump,
sih.
for example, like this, then this one doesn't get called automatically by any means. It's just there. So it's a bit tricky sometimes to know which ones are Unity default or which can you have. And that's when you have to revert to the Unity documentation. But I'll cover the most important ones in this video as well. And then this void thing, what's that all about? And the word void means nothing. And this is what the method or function will be returning. And it's not, if it says void here, it doesn't return anything. And
What the fuck does it
the
mean?
start method that comes with the mono behavior, it doesn't return anything, so that's why. And it also has to have something. And if it shouldn't return anything, you have void. If it should return something, it needs to be stated what type of information it should return. But we can get into that. And the next thing we have here is another method that comes by default with this mono behavior, and that's update.
Iya
An
BTW
update
itu nggak boleh
is
wali
a
punya
method
besok
that's
itu.
called by Unity
Stop.
automatically.
Let me get
Ya kau, ya kau balik
what
lagi.
the okay. So void start.
Ya udah gua sambil.
What the fuck is a bracket? Wait.
Mantap.
I think I'm bracket.
Oh aku.
Bracket.
Berdua ya.
Bracket.
Yup.
Bitch.
Oh, kira
This is not what I'm talking about. Wait. Cibo.
Yang ramen dicabik, dipindah semua.
God damn it. Then there's a bracket there. Which one is a bracket? The wiggly swiggly or the curved one? Wow.
Guys di sini. Yes. Coba aku
So I was
kayak,
saying,
oh no.
put something in the bracket
Aku mau
and it will
buat
run.
prestasi ini.
So, jadi taruh sesuatu di void start.
Mas berbahaya di sini loh.
Di void start. Jadi kayak pas aku mulai gamenya,
Ajak play aja Ben.
dia langsung nge-start suatu code, habis itu ndak lakukan
Kamu
lagi.
nggak ikut lah kan kasih
Ada itu. Bye bye.
Dia
That's it.
balik dah habis dari UTBK tuh kan.
Very nice. Alright. Got it. Tapi aku nggak tahu voidnya taruh di mana. Harusnya di bawah, bracket ini di bawah. God damn it, yo.
Kamu mau on red.
Rewind. Oh shit. Rewind.
Aku
Iya.
Run that piece of code and it only do it once. And then it'll move on.
Baru jam 8.
Usually, when you create a method, it doesn't have this automatic run feature. That's something that's quite specific for
yeah,
Unity now. If you had created
Kamu
your
mau
own
gak
method,
Kevin?
that's called
Tinggalin memang.
jump, for example, like this.
Halo.
Then this one doesn't get called automatically by any means. It's just there. So it's a bit
Yeah.
tricky sometimes to know which ones are Unity default or which can you have. And that's when you have
Right,
to
right,
revert
right.
to the Unity documentation. But I'll cover
Aku
the
udah
most important
menemukan
ones in this
serunya
Got it,
Halo
got it,
karena
got
aku
and
bisa
then this
nembak.
void thing, what's that all about? And the word void means
Oh, I guess I have to learn things by myself.
Kau tengok history terakhirku.
God damn it. God damn it.
by default here, this start method that
frustasi
comes
yang
with the
main
mono behavior, it doesn't return
Yang
anything,
mana nih?
so that's
Yang
why.
lapain.
And it also has to have something.
Oh yang gold nih, yang kill
Return
satu ya
anything,
dia.
you have void.
yang Reza
If it should
banget,
return something,
Reza
it needs to
main
be
banget,
stated
Cok.
what type
Atau
of
kill satu.
return.
Kevin banyak ngetro di rank
And
bronze
the next thing we
kayaknya
have
tuh
here is
pakai
another method that
penurunan.
comes by default with this mono behavior.
Aku nggak ngerti void apa
Update
ini baru betul.
is a method that's called
What
by
is
Unity
return?
automatically every time the frame is rendered.
Enggak,
So
dia main
once
sama
every
aku
frame
pakai
it'll
akun
go
Oke, di code aku ada return. God damn it.
Wah,
Code aku ada return. What does it mean? Return buat apa?
aku tadi malam aja dipaksa main pakai akun orang. Parah.
Artinya balikkan ke ini request collider
iya. Pakai akun kau.
artinya request
Ya, kau
ini
bisa tapi kurang 25%.
balik ke
Apa ya, kok
Hmm.
aku suka ini doping, aku suka ngejam-ngejam.
Pin oh kill satu kan kalau itu Ben.
Hah?
Pin di sini ada Myra Pin.
Benar-benar tak bisa main.
artinya kalau void
lagi.
Kau lihat
dia hanya ngerun,
Apa?
void hanya ngerun. Got it. I got it.
Do this
I-
for all of your scripts or all of your
Satu
game
style.
Alright.
have different components.
Iya,
We're
kan?
learning.
Bukan
Very nice.
Whatever
musuhnya.
piece of code is
Iya,
in
mereka
this
menang
file.
itu. Parah dia.
And it'll do it once during that
No.
frame, and then it'll leave it alone.
Lawan
And when it comes back next frame,
Bukannya
it'll do it
Merek
again
Publik
and
itu
again and
bermasalah.
again.
Wait, what?
every time the frame is another method that comes by default with this monitor
Sering
here,
bermasalah.
and this
Update.
Iya, lebih jelek daripada
Ya, ini yang terus-terusan.
lebih bawah di
That's
IndiHome.
called by
I
Unity
got it.
every time the frame is rendered.
Very nice.
So once every
We're
time
learning,
you
boys.
do
Tapi
this,
memang ada
all of
lanjut.
your scripts or all
Kalau
of the
nengok
game
YouTuber
objects that
itu
have
ini
different
banyak sekali.
components, it'll find this update.
Suddenly everything gets a
execute
lot
the code
seems a
is
lot
in
easier
this
now.
and it'll do it once during that frame, and then it'll leave it alone. And when it comes back next frame, it'll do it
Wah,
again.
dia
and
stream
again,
dah, iya
and
masuk
again,
suara
and
dah
again,
ya.
and
Wah,
again,
nanti
and
aku.
again.
Wah,
Ngomong apa?
apa mantap.
Halo guys.
Wah,
Kalau deh.
Waduh.
Halo.
kau tengok siap nge-carry kau ke.
Oke.
Parah Dev, ketawa loh.
Kalian mau lihat
Kau setawa kita.
Kau.
Ayo kau.
Kau kira si Bronze ini bisa nge-carry?
Parah.
kita lihat dulu komparasi dia main sama aku sama dia main sama kawan dia. Ya dia sama aku efekkan.
Mana?
DA aja, aku jago kok.
Hoki dek. Bentar. Kulik pas main. Nah, 5. Nggak apa kan itu. Tidak apa Febri, belajar lagi.
Enggak mau. Aku mau hapus jejak. Ya. Tidak ada yang tuh.
Langsung
Ganteng banget Febri.
Tidak ada, mana ada. Aku main sama Kevin karena dia rank aku.
parah ya komparasi ya main sama aku sama main sama
Iya loh. Komen
Iya,
sama
loh.
Toke itu ya. Dia iri kamu platinum.
Musuhnya Toki cam sih.
Dia itu iri kamu platinum, nggak mau dia kamu platinum Toke. Emang buruk,
Silver.
nggak boleh gitu.
Ih, kok silver? Cuma silver 1 nggak beda jauh kita. Jangan banyak baca kau.
Yang penting nggak bronze.
momen lagi aku kalau main momen kau.
Oh, apa man?
Again and again and again. And it'll just keep going like that.
Okay, bye-bye.
Pretty much, until you run out of
Jago.
power.
Baik.
So the frame rate actually will depend a little bit on how your game is configured. And usually it runs about 60 frames per second, but if you disable something called
Oke, sudah Dev,
sync
sepertinya saya
video
susah
maybe that's disabled,
Nggak
then
bisa
it
lagi.
could theoretically run 1000 frames per second.
Iya.
It's a really simple deal.
Haha, kau
So
langsung.
the number of times this is called, you can't
Parah,
rely on it
beda.
being a specific value every time. So you have to keep in mind now that when we put code here, if you were to say that it should move 1 unit distance every update, then on a really slow
Kau
computer
buat
it will move
invite hari ini buat
based on the frame rate. On a really fast computer it'll just shoot off screen because it rendered 1,000
buat
frames and it moved 1 unit.
apa
So
link
that's
invite.
something we'll keep in mind a little bit later on as well. And
Yeah,
in
yeah,
just
got it.
this open and close bracket is just saying now for this method called start and for this one called update, we have a beginning and an end. So the code that we put within these square brackets here is what's going to be executed in this method.
Wait, what?
For this method called start and for this one called these open and close. So that's something we'll keep in mind a little bit later on as well. And finally, again, just these open and close bracket is just saying now for this method called start and for this one called update, we have a beginning and an end. So the
Kau mau
code that
buat
we put
invite
within
non
these
to
square
itu.
brackets here is what's going to be
FYB.
executed in this
Where
method.
you are?
So now we're finally going to
Where bukan
write
itu
our
kodenya.
first line of code. And what we want to do is create something called an if statement and check if you as a
I think I'm gonna get what I'm doing
Baru
now.
ada.
if you're pressing a jump button, we want our little capsule
Should we-
here to jump. That's our objective.
Should we-
Ini aku ada nggak sih?
Should we still watch the video?
Nggak dimasuk sih.
I think I'm gonna get it now.
Ya tadi itu ketekan, aku mau masuk tapi kayak
The thing is, oh,
Malaya nggak ada ya.
so you see, I was confused. What the fuck does private void awake mean?
Nggak tahu.
Oh, jangan bisa langsung
What the
dashboard.
heck is that? So,
Temen
mungkin private
Iya,
artinya
Kita
jadi ini kan void awake.
Gini,
Mungkin kalau misalnya aku pakai void awake
Kepencet.
buat
Gue jago deh.
Itu yang dari
lalu ada
V
script lain,
di-
ada apa namanya?
Kan itu codingnya. Itu
Ada code
coding.
lainnya aku bikin buat player lain. Kalau aku tulis void awake dia malah langsung anu yang ini aja kah? Atau aku nggak bisa pakai void awake gara-gara udah ada void awake di tempat lain. Kalau misalnya aku nggak ada private. Jadi kalau misalnya aku ada private, hanya dia yang punya. Ini hanya hanya buat-
pasti ada itunya.
hanya buat si dia,
Nggak tahu aku.
buat player
Di
movement.
Play kan ada ini
Ya.
kode.
Harusnya. Kalian nggak deh? Tidak.
Kodenya itu di
God bless.
di
Maaf.
sebelah Discord GG Strip itulah kodenya.
Anda bodoh.
Bukan orang.
Yang
Alright.
bla 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 itu
So what we're going to create is
Coding.
something
Kasih
called
link gitu.
if statement.
Kode
And that's
link
very
gitu lah.
common
Buat
in
link
many
bisa
programming
buat
languages.
website
Also, we want to
Iya.
put that here in the update because we don't
Okay.
just want to check
Oh,
if you
iya,
jump
benar.
at the beginning of the game. That wouldn't
Cuman
work. So we have to
siapa?
check for this jump button in
Wow.
every frame. So in this update method,
Diam deh.
that's where we need to
Carry
put
deh.
our code. If we want at any time in the game, the player should be able to press jump and the player should jump. Let's just put this in as an example. So if in real world, for example, if you're hungry,
Eat. Literally simple.
if hungry equals true, then you would do.
Why are people still dying from hunger, man? If you're hungry, just eat.
As an example.
Literally
Statement
simple.
is, if something is something, then do something.
Look at this.
If hungry is true,
Jebra
then
ciri
eat.
suara.
So that's something you do in real life. That wouldn't work here because we need to check for an input instead and do something in the game. For this example to work, we would need something called a variable. And if you want to check if something is true or false, the data type of that variable is a boolean or a bool. For this example to
bool.
work, just to make
Keluarin
sure I
TP, tapi
don't leave any
TP.
stones unturned, like I said before.
Apa
we
itu
could have declared
namanya?
a variable here of the data type bool called
Oh yeah, what the fuck is a bull?
Susah kalau
Bull, hangi.
So if you put something
Susah
that's
kalau
not
IQ-nya
inside one of
tidak
these methods
setara,
here, I
bikin
put it at the
beda.
very top here. I declared a variable called hungry.
Variable,
It's a
nice.
bool data type. So it's not
Bool
a
data
number,
type.
it's not a piece of text. A bool can
Jadi
be
saya tuh mendoakan
complex.
teman-teman
You see
saya.
how when I typed in here
Oh.
hungry, which is declaring this
Ah, yeah, we're learning a lot of stuff. This is what I need to know.
disappeared because now
This is
there's
what I want to know.
there is a
Thank you,
variable
Balding Man.
that's called hungry.
Love
And we
you.
can check if that one is true. And you might ask, why is there two equal signs here instead of just one? And that's
Di atas
in
di kiri
C#.
bawah ya.
If you have one equal sign, it's actually setting this variable. So it would
Aku
set
apply.
hungry to
Da,
true.
da, da,
And we
da.
don't want to do that. We want to check it. And the syntax of
juga.
doing that is having two equal signs.
Baik.
So maybe
Apa
a
aku
bit
mau?
confusing.
Lupa guys, lupa.
So this one is still squiggly here. It's called eat, and that was a method that we wanted to call. So I'd have to declare this one. And here's another thing actually. You could type it like this: void eat, and those squigglies will disappear now because there is a method now. If the variable hungry is set to true, then it will call this eat function or eat method
Ada
and
nih.
execute whatever.
Nah dulu ya, yuk. Tim kita mati dah.
A method that,
Ke belakang dia.
but there's actually a
Nah
nice
dulu
way
tim
to
kita mati dah.
do this as well. I should mention.
Alamak.
When this one's red,
Oh,
like this, in the Visual Studio, you can press Control.
I almost drop this thing. What's this thing called?
Salah, miskom.
Soy sauce.
Miskom.
Nothing. But I heard that soy sauce in other country, I mean Indonesia, I live in Indonesia,
Itu ada notif.
it's not sweet. This is sweet, very sweet. I love this thing. I have diabetes.
And then it'll give you some menu options. here.
Not
It says generate method.
necessary
Ya,
information.
tapi-
Let's continue.
Click on that one.
Nah, tahu.
It already declared this one. It actually threw out some more code that we don't necessarily need. That private is to
Aku
say
pakai TP-nya Om.
control period. And then it'll give you some nifty options here.
Oh, iya.
It says
Oh.
generate method for player.
Oh iya.
Atau apa?
necessarily need.
Kenapa aku nanya gitu? Aku
Private
nggak tahu
to
kapan
declare
pakai.
this one. It actually threw out some more code that we don't necessarily need. That private is to say if only this script should be able to access it, or if another.
Yeah. Wait, what? No.
Ada di
Oke.
Nah, saya bukan basic.
Tahu
Adanya
seperti
yang
itu.
pergi.
Oke, jadi yang aku bilang tadi salah guys. Ya private artinya hanya script ini yang bisa pakai code ini. Ya, nice. Alright.
Ya.
That's by
Alright, alright.
in private and public is. By default, if it's not typed there, it is private by default.
Mantap
And
kan?
here as well, when it auto-generates it, it just creates a line of code to throw an error. It creates an error that it's not been implemented yet.
Wait, what?
Aku lihat WhatsApp ya kalau
And here as well, when it
Yeah, yeah,
auto-generates it, it just
okay.
creates a line
Nggak
of
jadi
code
dah,
to
nggak
throw an
jadi nanti aku
error. It creates an
wah,
error that it's not been
nanti
implemented.
aku jadi.
Oh, okay.
But it's very common in Visual Studio here that you can use the control period. We put it on the same here when we want to declare this variable. We take
That's
the
actually
variable
pretty
here,
goofy.
here,
Kan jago dah.
click on this hungry here,
Made me
press
haha.
control period. And then it says generate field.
Then it says, well, slow down, boy.
Generate field. Actually, the proper name isn't variable, it's called a field in C#. But if you hear variable or field,
What do you mean?
it's hungry here, I press control period. And then it says generate field. Actually, the proper name isn't variable, it's called a field in C#. If you hear variable or fields, it's usually the same, pretty much. So we can generate
Okay.
the field layer hungry. And you see, it declared it as private. It was the bool it knew since we were checking. Here, back to here. I click on the thing.
Very nice.
It was the bool it knew.
Wow, we're learning a lot, boys. We're learning a lot.
And it knew that it
Kita
was
belajar
Bye-bye.
sangat banyak anjir kalau ngomong di Indo kayak goblok aja. Kita belajar sangat banyak.
jump. So look,
Kita belajar sangat banyak. Guys. Anjing autis.
I should be able to jump. So
Let's
space.
play-nya.
Get it? So let's do that in code now instead.
Tuh,
In this
Kalian orangnya ada tadi.
now, since we needed to do check
Aku
for this
udah
all the
dingkan
time,
ke neonnya.
I love this guy.
learned a little bit about, and we have to
Parah
open
sih,
it with a
Kay.
bracket.
Parah sih.
So now we have to type the code here. What
okay,
we're
though.
going to type to check this? We're going to
Parah
check for
sih,
something called input.
Masa dia bilangin kamu?
And it happens to be something here. If I start typing now input,
Aduh, nggak lag dia.
you can see that it's actually suggesting here a bunch of things. Usually when I want to do something, I Google it. Let's see, I want to check for input. I Google Unity C# input or jump.
Yeah, so
And then it'll give me a bunch of
It
things,
is really
and that
necessary
will
to know.
direct me to either some sample code or the Unity documentation. And it'll tell
To
you a lot of
Google.
stuff, how to check for input and how to do it.
No.
And as you learn
Oh,
this,
salah
and
lagi,
I Google
ternyata
all the
hijau
time,
ke yes.
pretty much every
Hey,
day.
Choto Mateo.
IndiHome tuh berapa sih? Hep?
If input get button down.
Nggak tahu.
Button down.
Banyak sekali lah, nggak sampai berpengaruh sama ping dia.
What is a button down?
Dia cuma paling komodo
Left click?
And as you learn this, and I Google all the time, pretty much every day as I type code, I have to Google it all the time. I have to go to the documentation back and forth. But gradually, you'll learn more and more.
Weaklings.
So we're going to type input here.
Not for me though.
And then we want to check for something. And if I press period now, you can see that
We're going to do non-Google run.
it's got some more stuff here. We can
No
actually start
Googling.
reading what we can check for here.
Game making.
Any key, like Homer Simpson.
Is it possible to make game
You can
without?
either scroll through here and see what there is.
I mean, like
Just
snake game.
Let's
Making
see,
a snake game.
Axis,
I think it will be
joystick.
possible, but
We've got get
a big game.
key press.
Is there a game that people make, like a really
down,
popular one
mouse
that people
button
make
up,
without
see.
Googling?
Visual Studio will give you all these things.
If there are, if there is,
we want to check.
if there are,
we want to check.
there
we
is,
wanted to check
there are,
for
there is.
space.
Good one.
Pembulian terjadi.
Keren.
Space,
Good job.
the button
Very nice.
Nggak apa-apa.
So,
Seems pretty impossible.
is there something called key? Yeah, key. And should it be on key
Kayak
down
gitu.
when you hit space bar? Then we want to check that one.
Orang tuh
Now it's
dia muji nggak bilang
suggestions
terima
here, but it
kasih,
gives
kok masih
us,
oke.
something here as well. So get key down. Then we have to provide something here called a key code. So what could that be? I press bracket again.
Is it all
as
big?
as expected. It's already suggested key code. Okay, so let's
Ngomong
come up.
siapa ya?
And it was space.
Nggak ada
So
setnya.
maybe we press period.
Mana mau
down
ambil
here.
senjata?
Oh,
Oh,
it's
ada.
actually suggesting a bunch of key codes.
Apa
We
yang
can
belum
scroll up and
beda?
down here with the up and down
What the
arrow.
fuck is an
Oh,
alpha
right.
one two?
Or maybe we can type
What?
Aku ini tembak.
Alpha?
space.
Oh, it's just normal number. It's just. Oh my god. God damn,
Mau
stupid.
senjata apa yang warna
So
apa?
just by knowing that we wanted to check for input and we wanted to check for some sort of a key.
What's a button down though?
Let's check-
Wait,
check
Choto,
for,
Choto.
key. Let's
Ternyata
make
apa warna apanya
let's
V-nya?
make
DS.
space the button that we need to press. For
No, no, no,
key.
no, 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 no,
So
no, 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 no.
up and down, you see. Like,
Enggak harus di
joystick.
web.
We've got get
Satu
key,
PS5 is
get key press.
Just get key ya.
Have get
Mantap
joystick
tuh orang
names,
Oke,
key
nyantuk, oke.
down, mouse button up and down. You see, Visual Studio will give you all these things just for
Iya, dia pengen bawa.
So we want to check, what did we want to check? We wanted to check for a key. Let's make space
Masih di kiri ya?
that we need
Kiri,
to press
kan?
for jumping.
Mau ada apa? Ada flash?
Get
Ya, pas.
Okay.
something called key. Yeah, key and
Wait, I want to know something. I'm sorry.
RFP lo.
Oh, God. God bless. This one the get button down. The front is get button down. I guess get button, that means like joystick, right? Not joystick, but not mouse.
Ya.
What the fuck? Wait, it has mouse. Input mouse position.
Oh, tidak.
Get button down. I guess
Nah, tidak.
here's mouse, and then some other consoles that only has button, and then I aim with my mouse, and then shoot the button. Am I right? I think so. Yeah.
Ada masalah control.
Very nice. Very nice.
true. So if get key down, and that's actually the down action, it's not if it's pressed all the time. If I would have just typed input get key
Oke, oke dia.
instead of get key down, it would actually return true every time as long as I'm holding
Jadi
space
bawa
down. But
dia.
if I'm only checking it on the key down action, it'll only do it once. So if I hit key, even if I hold it down, it'll just jump me once.
Oh wait, what? Kita pakai apa? Get key down atau?
Ya, aku pernah bom. Apa? Pak Kupre.
Oh yeah.
Lama itu.
Oh so I... Oh.
Lama itu.
Oh, jadi kalau aku misalnya ini get key down like this, kita ke
Aku nembak
Unity.
kaki.
Oh shit.
Roy, how you doing, Roy?
50.
Da 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 dum, da da.
What the fuck? Ah, that's Chiba. Chiba. Got it. Okay. No. No problem. No problemo. So. Kalau misalnya aku get key down di sini. Jadi kalau get key aku bisa tekan-tekan terus. Kalau get key down hanya aku
DS.
sekali. Alright. Got it.
Oh iya.
Aku coba aja nggak bisa.
Balik sini. Oke. We're back here.
Pisau dulu.
Harga sing muram sing. Very nice. Oke. Jadi aku nggak bisa lompat-lompat terus. Kontol bisa. Oh, tapi kalau aku misal tekan tahan, you see? Kalau aku tekan tahan, wow. Wait, tapi kok animasi kayak Hey! What the fuck? What is going on? Oh no, what went wrong? What went wrong?
Lari masuk aja dia.
Dia lagi god.
Kiri.
Oh, enggak.
Aku nggak tahu dulu. Gimana? Aku kena spam dari smoke tuh.
What the? Hah?
120. Shotgunnya
Kok lambat
kurang
sekali?
parah.
Dia mati.
Oke, what the
Oh,
fuck?
bye.
Oh,
Kena.
what the fuck? Oh no! What the happening?
Tidak. Nggak spam.
Oh no, what's going on? God damn it. What? Reference script unknown on this behavior is missing. No. I know.
Let's play lah kau tuh. Loh, kok masih kena? Kok nih?
What the frick? Oh, That's weird. Just because hanya gara-gara aku ubah ini,
Mati semua adalah.
animasinya sih kayak why?
Parah, kayak musuhnya jago sekali.
Aku chord-nya kan pakai ini.
Ini juga sekali ya, Feb.
Jago sekali curang mau. Pakai cheat lagi.
Aku
Tak senang aku
Amin
nengok
jam
ini
final
kill.
ya. Kalau misalnya aku ini hanya sekali anim set trigger jam hanya
Aku mati setiap run dah aku 5.
Oh, oke. I think I got it. Aku rasa aku tahu.
Yang penting aku nggak pengen bawah.
Mungkin enggak.
Mau tengok ya top trigger nah. Leo. Bisa
Dari velocity, dia bakal naik, animasi bakal jump. Right?
Walaupun kita 4-5 kill, dia 1 kill.
Jadi di second aku
Benar.
tekan,
Kasih.
dia sebenarnya jump. Oke. Di sini dia sebenarnya jump. Oh wait, what the fuck?
Ada trap.
Oke, sebenarnya pas aku tekan space, tap, dia langsung jump tuh kan? Tap, langsung jump. Nah, itu dia langsung jump. But the problem is,
Bisa dia.
Oh iya.
aku rasa harus nggak down gini, nggak boleh hanya sekali gara-gara aku bisa code ulang. Mungkin aku bisa code ulang.
Kalau nggak
Mungkin
salah
nggak.
sih defending enak.
Bisa. Tapi nggak perlu. Gara-gara kita udah tahu kalau misalnya nggak
Tidak pengen ide ulti dari situ.
itu tinggal is
Itu
grounded.
orang udah nungguin situ, weh.
Tidak ada ulti.
Ya.
Ada.
What?
Menang kok.
Access ke membuat type tool cannot be.
Apa kita player di kita tim defense banget.
Oh no. What is going on? Hah.
Ada yang main A ada. Gila. Ini berani sama bot frag.
Oh no.
Beraninya sama bot frag gak parah.
I guess we have. Oh no.
Crying in the lounge.
God
Kayaknya
damn it.
Ada.
No.
Mau semua dah tuh. Itu orang kan tembak kok.
Oh no.
Ada chambernya di C tadi.
It's fucking worky, but what?
bisa. Car.
Ya Allah.
Iya. Ya situ. Car.
Ya cara orang itu dan.
Iya. Nggak mungkin 1 lawan 1 saja.
Oh ya. YZ. Itu one tap apa? One tap.
Oke kali gue nggak mati tadi tuh.
Namanya skill.
Hello and welcome to a brand
Kita thanks.
In this video, I'm gonna show
NS
this
tuh nice
method.
kan?
Alright.
Iya kan?
NS nice shot.
Oh.
Ini ketik di outset.
No.
NS nice shot ya.
That will tell our code.
Okay.
Selaku sama Phoenix-nya ada kayak musuhan lah kau.
Oh, it's not.
Tahu lagi.
Ah, fuck man. It's not. It's grounded.
Akhirnya aku dapat kill.
It's just grounded. God damn it. What is grounded?
Wah,
What is grounded?
Febri aku datang menolongmu.
Sir, what is grounded? What is
Moga.
grounded?
Nggak jadi lepas sendiri.
Oke, harusnya grounded di sini. It's grounded.
lagi sini.
And this is checks out. This was checks out, right? Like so.
Kata mengatakan tuh mengejar dari bawah.
Is grounded if Jadi is grounded kalau misalnya ini. Grounded tuh apa? Grounded. Yang pertama. Katanya. Ada grounded bukan dari sini, grounded dari sini. Dia kalau misalnya ini grounded buat grounded tuh fuck it. Oke. I'm actually confused. What is grounded? Kata, this is grounded.
Aku lupa ngapain aku nge-spot.
Aku tak bisa lewat.
Masih bisa nembak.
So what artinya ini kan? Artinya kayak jika aku tekan space dan grounded, what is grounded? Grounded artinya grounded itu true, dan kalau grounded itu true,
Ingatkan aku jangan main ini, ingatkan.
Iya.
damn it, wait.
Ya mending aku aja, aku jago.
Tak enak tuh dashnya, jadi
Waktunya biar kau terarah.
Mekanismenya ngapain sih? Aku kayak, what? Kenapa ada tiba-tiba
dulu baru bisa dah.
oh my god, yo, you know what I did wrong.
Kali, mana delay?
It's supposed to be like this and then
tekan 2 kali kenapa?
pak.
Delay.
God damn it. So yeah, I think it should work now.
jelas anjir?
So what is
Mekanismenya
and is
ribet
grounded
banget.
is true? How do we know that it's true? Through
Biar
this.
nggak bisa tiba-tiba ngeluh.
Ya, biar
Right.
limit
Right,
biar
testing.
enggak kayak setan semua.
Alright, look at this.
Begitu, Feb. Ada dendam ke sama kamu, Feb.
Kau bayangkan tiba-tiba nge-save
Oh
deh.
damn.
Jangan ngeblame gitu, Feb.
But anyway,
What the?
Lele Selena cuy.
Apa?
Lele Selena.
Oh wait, I think I get an idea. Like, you don't have to press space to jump. In order to jump, you just gotta what?
what did you guys say? Something? Oh, whatever.
I may just have to.
Pro nice jet no pro.
So if
Yeah.
menang. Nggak jadi musuh kita.
it's grounded.
Okay, shut up. Let's go.
Oh!
Mending kan aku
I'm not pressing anything. Look at this. I'm just. Whoa! Oh shit! What the fuck?
Nah, di mobil.
Oh, there we go. Wow! So ya, enggak perlu tekan apa-apa. Aku tekan.
Nah. Kau ada ulti.
Iya. Prospect. Jadi gue beli inspector buat aku.
Nice.
Karena ada tower.
Wait, what the fuck? Oke, kita ada problem lain, tapi nanti lah kita perbaiki. Nah, kita bareng gini aja.
Aku
Ntar dia putar.
119. No, 1 hit.
nice.
Aku kurang
Gila. Wih, langsung hilang semua.
Kenapa ada tanda waktu nge-S itu?
Iyalah.
Kawan-kawan PS guys.
Langsung second strike.
Kayaknya tak mati.
Kita pakai
119.
Just let's biarin dia gini.
Iya, berlima.
Nice. Now we know.
Kan mati itu.
Very nice.
Pandemic tuh.
Halo Dep. Halo Will. Oh ya Will, aku udah bikin gambar yang itu.
Iya.
Gambar yang gua minta. Aku kirim ke kau gimana? Aku nggak tahu aku gambar orang yang betul atau enggak sih. Bentar.
Ente coba lagi deh.
Nanti habis stream aku kirim. Oke.
Oh, mati kalau TP.
And after
Alright.
you have checked an input, remember we needed to have the squiggly open and close bracket. The only reason why this input actually existed in the first place, again, is because GitHub is using Unity engine.
Ada orang ya.
So if this one wasn't there, press Control S. See, it has no clue what we wanted to do.
What do you
So
mean?
all of this is very Unity specific, and it's requiring this using Unity. And input actually, it'll just jump me once. And after you have checked the
Oh,
key
no, my back,
we
wait.
needed to have the
Aku masih
squiggly
nggak-
open and close
aku tidak
bracket there.
senang
The
aku
only
di
reason why this
ada.
input actually existed in the first place, again, is because
Ada
we got
lagi.
this using Unity Engine.
Frame lebih
So
bagus,
if this
frame
one
lebih bagus.
wasn't there, press
Yeah.
Control S, see, it has no clue what we
Iyo,
wanted to
kecil
do.
banget Pep.
So all of this is very Unity specific.
kan ada
It's
TRG
requiring
expense
this
on.
using Unity Engine. Then it knows,
Sebenarnya tuh,
in the Unity Engine, I'm gonna see, okay, there's an input thing. We can handle the keyboard input. We can check the key downs.
Aku cuma
Joystick,
bikin bagus.
mouse, you got it. We could improve this code a little bit more as well, because we wanted to check if this one
Skinnya
is
banyak dah
true.
Ben. Jam-jam
If you
menghanguskan
wanted
lo
to
Ben.
check input get key down, this is, you can see it as well here. It's a bool. Remember we learned what a bool
Kalah
was.
Yes,
kalah,
yes.
It gives you true or false. But
Ini
when you write an if statement, you don't really need to write this equals true, because it's expecting that. If we want to check something, it just expects me, okay, do I
Ya,
want to check if this is true or not?
itu apa?
So we can actually take equals true away and keep
Gamenya
it
bubar gitu.
a little bit smaller. But in
Martin
theory,
nunggu
it still says the compiler
Ini kan
will
masih
still
beta
interpret
testing,
this
kan?
as saying
Iya,
if
masih
you
Oh,
want
kemarin
to
masih
keep
beta
the code a bit
testing.
tidier if you just want to
Masih.
say if
Beta.
input get key down
Ah.
equals space.
Oh, Din coki banget dah.
And what I mentioned before as well, when we started to get all these freebies with what to type,
Belum muncul
Kiri.
it's called
Aku sih masih pengen yang zaman dulu sih.
Ah, ya.
Yang skin word kita warna putih dengan
Tidak bisa malam-malam, guys. Dari jam 10 mau entering kayak biasa. Mau tidur awal.
kira
Ya.
skinnya tahan
Ya,
sampai
30 menit lagi,
itu,
cuy.
sampai game
Biasanya aku
rilis.
belajar
Tapi
seorang lah.
Udah
Kira nanti next stream
border
ya
yang
bisa
ini, apa sih, banner
skui
kan,
bikin
udah
game.
ganting lah.
Kena refund
Semoga.
5%.
Sama aku belajar di beberapa.
Top up aja.
Ya, we did.
Yang ini
Ya,
enggak.
udah belajar beberapa hal. Bagus.
Nama
Very
aja.
nice.
Rugi nanti dia.
Mainnya
Ah,
IntelliSense. Let's see how
Let's not
far we
waste
can
any
take
time.
this.
Padahal
How much
minatku udah
code
ganti
do we
sama
have to
Toki.
write to make this thing? If I
Rasaku
let's
kura
take it
itu
to the
loh.
extreme. So if I typed I want to write the F command. Okay, so it's
Itu
already
kau
see
tengok
here,
bawah ngapain dah?
IntelliSense
Pas turun
top
tangga.
choice here. Since
Nggak
it's so
ada,
common,
biar
skip.
dia tak sengaja
I
jatuh
press
ya.
tab,
Mau ngefake dia.
and then I'm gonna do an open bracket. And we wanted to check for input, right? So I press I,
Nggak buat apa-apa.
and,
Ini cuma biar tak
and
sengaja.
now we've reached
Biar
as far
nggak
as to
tak
say
sengaja
top
jatuh.
choice now is
Oh,
no,
biar
I
nggak
don't
keluar.
want to type input,
Ya,
so I
karena
press
nggak
tab.
langsung aja.
Satu kan
Okay.
sekarang. Tapi kalau dia sengaja turun
And
dua.
then we wanted to check for get key down, so we press G. Oh, see, it's
Yeah.
already at the top.
Yeah,
And
hati-hati
the most
apa-apa.
common thing to check for input is actually get key down. So I don't even have to type that one. I can
Febri.
just press tab again and accept this top
Jalan.
recommended thing here. And then I do another open bracket.
Pilih
And then
kaki.
see, it's already checking. Okay, we probably want to check a key code.
Lain nak.
It's the top choice here or the highlighted choice. So I press tab again. And then we
Mau
wanted to do
game,
space.
main
So
nggak ada
it's the top choice here or the highlighted choice. So I press
Ah,
tab
okay.
again. To
Bohong.
do space.
Aku
So
habis
I
terus
press
ya.
and S, P, and then it's suggesting space. And then we do the squiggly marks. So, how much code did we really have to type
Kejap
there? We
sekali
had to
nengok si
type,
Jet
let's see,
si Razik.
I, tab, tab, capital I, period, tab,
Udah mati
open
semua.
bracket, tab, period, space, tab, close bracket.
Curi.
So keep in mind that IntelliSense is really useful. It'll
Curi.
often give you hints on what to type or what it expects and things like that. So don't just
Baiknya dekat
ignore
sini
that
kan?
advice. See what comes up
Belakang kan speknya.
when you start typing things.
Okay.
See if that's what you're after.
What if I don't get what's it advising me to?
Sempat lihat pas
What if I don't even get what is for? Kill myself, right?
Bakalan kemana coba?
Reset my gene.
mungkin
I have inferior gene.
Iya.
Fuck.
Ya lihat kanan aja. Itu aja.
And use those
I hope there's
hints
a
to help
reset
your code
gene button, man.
along the way.
Like,
the beautiful thing with this is that you don't have to
um,
memorize the code. You just have
one
to
day
sort
you
of
just
know what you're
realize that
after.
you have
And in the
inferior
beginning,
gene,
it'll be a
right?
bit
Because
tricky.
it's true.
But as you get more
People-
and more used
some
to it,
people
you
have
just
superior
to
gene.
know what you want to do and start. typing a bit
Some
what
say
you
that,
think it is.
oh, everybody is awesome. They just don't know what they're good at, and then you realize what you're good at is not what you actually want. I think most people,
And hopefully this
yeah,
tab and
they're
IntelliSense
good at
will
something,
help
but they
you.
don't want to be good at that.
Again,
Bagus
combine
deh.
Or
that
maybe
with
they
how
have
do I check for
other
input
thing that
ability?
they really
How do I
want.
make a player
be good at.
How do I make it?
I mean, look at me.
How do I,
I'm really good at being
think
autistic,
of stuff to Google. Google is your friend.
but I don't.
But we don't want to check this twice. So
No,
let's delete
itu
that one.
ditembak. Kalah deh.
I don't really need a
Let's
Gene reset
It's gonna
button.
show you
Ini CS
intelligence.
aku
Yeah.
Really make this
Oh,
one
enggak
clear.
deh.
Ada
But
harapan.
Why is there no
switches here.
reset
It's a
button?
way
Lihat
to
aja dari
document
cara
your
dia
code.
itu
So,
sudah tidak
if
bagus.
I press enter here and do // we can
This
actually
word.
do something. Let's call
True
Kalau
word.
udah aku bisa bilangin dia karena aku dia
Check if space
and these
key
are
is
basically
Benar,
just
benar,
hints in
benar.
code or
Benar,
documentation
itu sudah
you
boleh
can do
dah.
for yourself
Tunggu,
or for
ya,
your
Ki, tunggu,
teammates
tunggu.
if you're writing
Tunggu,
code
berapa
for someone
dokin lagi?
else to be working on it
Be,
as well.
nanti berapa
I
dokin?
suggest going
Bisa
over
aku ngomongin
here.
gini.
You don't have to type comments for every line of code, like check if space key is pressed down, because it's very apparent that you check if space key is pressed down. But know that you can write these type of comments, and often you want to use these comments when there's something that maybe is not so intuitive, like why are you doing something? Maybe you've done something that looks a little bit awkward, or why am I doing that?
Wait,
in this
kenapa Gura nyanyi ini terus? What?
Ah, masuknya.
Kok Gura nyanyi terus?
Aku dia gas.
Ya, aku jagain kau.
I feel like aku rasa kayak dia udah nyanyi ini berapa kali cuy? Oh. Oke. Ini ada. Oke, baru 2 kali.
Masih
Oh, Haruhi
nge-spam.
Suzumiya. God knows.
Maju,
Oh,
Pak.
kalian udah nonton The Disappearance of Haruhi?
Balik,
Oh,
balik.
enggak
Ini
itu
ya,
misinya.
sorry, kan.
No. Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya.
Nyata ya.
It's really
Ada.
good. I like it. Very good.
Biar
Good
apa
anime. Must watch. Very nice.
Aku
Good
nembak.
story. I don't know.
Enggak,
It's just about
ikutin aku.
God being a high school woman,
Nggak jadi, aku jago banget.
high school female student, a cheeky one.
Apa?
That you want to choke. To that.
Jauh. Jauh.
Uh,
Oh, lewat sini dah.
yeah, that's it.
Aku udah gak minus tuh, Bri.
update loop, or why
Ya,
am I
kau
doing this?
kau jadi umpan aku
Often
belakang kau.
try to get the
And I
code
vote
without
takes.
document itself.
Planet is not that sad.
If you need to
I'm
add,
sorry.
like here, Unity
But that's true.
has added this.
I didn't shed any
All the
tears
ones
at
per
all.
frame. It tells
I'm
us
sorry to say.
something. Okay, so this is just not any method.
It's just-
This one is actually
I don't know.
per frame,
This
so
is not
that's a
sad
useful
for me.
message. This one is not so useful. It's also very
I mean, it's sad.
important where we
It's
put
really
this
sad,
in
but
our code.
it
So this if
didn't
statement now,
make
when
me
we did
come to
check
tears.
for if key down, that's actually only
And I'm not trying to be edgy at the moment.
playing
At the
game
moment.
here. It runs through this
I even
Mana
feel like,
the moment
please
that
cry.
you hit
Please
space,
cry. Hey, wait, is this the part where I'm supposed to cry? It's like
and then it's not gonna be recorded until
okay.
maybe you
God damn it. Shut up, bully man. I'm sorry. You helped me suffer, but let me talk. But what the fuck was I supposed to say?
Ini
Oke,
sangat
ya.
susah ya. Apakah saya harus
No.
ini harus guys?
God damn it. I don't know
Nah, ya,
when to
guys,
cry
guys.
because I know some of the part is sad, but I mean like people are so
Ini ya, oke.
a lot of people talk about, oh my god, oh this moment man, god damn, and I was looking for that moment, right? There's a lot of sad part, but none of them
Aku bait tau nggak?
made me cry.
Oke.
And every time there's a sad part, because I think there's a lot. Is there a lot? I think so. At least it's not just one. So every time there's a sad part in Clannad, I was just like, am I supposed to cry now? But it's not really just sad. So it was like that every time. I'm sorry, that's my opinion. And School Days is a 10 out of 10 anime. I agree with Joy the Anime Man. Thank you
Moga
very
saya di
much.
atas bini.
Sincerely, Deb.
the release point function, it tells us time, but often try to get the code itself.
Oh, enggak deh.
yourself.
Aku di bawah.
And if you need to add stuff, like here, Unity has added
Dia,
this update.
ya,
this
apa
code
berguna
once per
loh
frame,
daripada
and
video.
it tells us something. Okay, so this is just not any method. This one is actually called once
Dia
per
cuma
frame, so
jago
that's a
ayam.
useful message. This one is not. It's also very important where we put this line of code. So this if statement now, when we did check for if key down, that's actually only valid one frame in your entire. When you're
sorry.
playing the game here, it runs through this update loop over and over again, and the moment that you hit space, key down,
Gimana
it's
pula?
actually only
Gila,
recorded
Econ
once
ratingnya
on that
Chamber
frame.
170.
And then it's not going to be reported again until maybe you
Mana
release
cara
space and
tinggi?
press
Dia
it
kan
again.
satu
That's the
bitnya.
second time it'll hit this line of code. So
Yeah.
that's why it's important to know that you have to capture it in this update loop. Okay, nothing is
Nggak perlu
happening now.
dilihat
If we press
ya,
play,
tinggi
let's
lah.
press press Control S,
Iya,
if I were to start the game now, nothing would really happen because we're only checking if the key down is pressed and it's actually hitting this line of code, but
Dia
nothing is
itu
happening.
pakai
And we can make
skill.
sure that we write into something a little hint to see. Is this working? We can do something called
Wah,
what I
young
commonly do
man.
it's called a debug log message. So let's type debug
Aku nonton stream dia,
period.
Wait.
dia nonton tutorialnya
But
sampai
nothing is
mau
happening.
tidur ya.
And we can make sure that we
Halo,
write
Toke.
something a little hint to see is this working.
Berjuang dia pakai katanya.
Semangat ya, Tio tawa dia.
Ah,
Cuma
bagus.
suara.
Iya dia masih ada. Ini kayak masih mau tidur aja.
Bosan Toke.
Dia dengar kita ngomong.
Dengar? Halo. Halo Ben. Bosan cuy.
Semangat ya, Fir.
Tapi belajar namanya.
Bisa pula
Belajar
dia
itu
fokus
baik.
sambil dengerin suara aku yang
Emang kenapa kamu Febri?
Enggak ada, aku mau bye.
Bah, Toke off.
Ih, kok kamu
Kok kamu off? Kok kamu off? Hei,
Ih, kok kamu
jok boleh.
Ih, kok
Semalam
kamu
disuruh tidur katanya.
Kau nggak kasih gift ke?
Ih, kok kamu
Waduh.
Halo.
bukan aku ya, bukan aku ya. Bukan aku.
Kau selalu mau awal ya Feb ya.
Bukan aku. Audit lo. Oh, apa ini? Apa ini?
Aku aja tidak mau kehilangan Toke.
Apa ini?
Cok, satu yang aku
Kalian lihat
cari.
itu di mana? Gimana cara tahu kalau orang delete message?
Audit lo.
Oh, dia ada
Server setting.
Self setting. Ya aku nggak ada privilege itu lah.
Oh, adalah you.
Ya,
aku ada nih.
Masa kok nggak ada?
emang gimana caranya?
Kita sama ini token tim kok masih ada. Di Kumon strip bawahnya nih apa?
Di mananya?
Di Kumon. Kan kau di chat nih kan, tengok ada hashtag.
Oh no.
kan.
Server setting habis itu?
Audit lo lah aku cari.
Oh.
Kau lihatlah semua keburukanmu itu. Terpampang.
Hah, aku streamer mod. Dosaku tidak ada.
Kau lihat dosa-dosa kau
Updating
terpampang
over and over
banyak.
again, and the moment that you hit space, the key down
Bukan kau,
is
Kak, yang
actually
terakhir.
reported once on that frame.
Oh iya, kok banyak
And then
sekali
it's
ya
not
aku.
gonna be reported again until
Oh, enggak.
you release
Masih
space and
ada.
press it again. That's the second time it'll hit this line of code. So
Gara-gara
that's why it's important to know that you have to
Enggak,
capture
cuma
this
pindahin orang, Bang. Kan
Okay,
aku
nothing
baik
is happening
ngebantu
now. If we
pindahin
press
orang.
Tidak.
play, let's press
Ih.
Control S. If I were to start the game now, nothing would really happen because we're only checking if the key down is pressed and it's actually hitting this line of code.
ratusan,
And nothing is
500-an,
happening.
ribuan.
And we can make sure that we write maybe something, a little hint to see, is this working? We can do something called, that I commonly do, is it's called a debug log message. So let's type debug, press tab on the on, period, log, I suggest we just want to put a log entry here. And then let's type it, space, key,
Halo, suara kalian nih.
press
Halo.
down.
Ah.
And semicolon. And strings have to be in
Got it,
these
got it, got it.
quotation marks. So this is again something that Unity has, and it's called a debug, and a function here or a method called log, and it'll send this string here now to our console. And we haven't covered the console, so let's
Woo!
Kita masuk ke
What the fuck? Gurah.
11 kan?
Kok masuk? Kok nama SPP? Kok
Harus ini ya.
masuk lagi kamu?
Woo!
Oh, kan kita
What the
pelepasan.
Saya tidak.
minimize it. And here is a console. It's also here down at the bottom. And it's all the way from the project. It also scroll down to the bottom if you want it to have visible at all times.
Mana Feb?
But now we press play, we see that it enters
Online
here,
aja.
and we press, let's see what happens. We press space, and nothing happened because we haven't
Ya,
told
aku
the game
merasa
object to
emang
jump
beda
in. But we
online.
did get this line of code.
Sebenarnya aku tuh untung kalau aku mau tambahan di pagi hari ke sana, tapi saya tetap ikut jadwal normal. Aduh, malesnya saya.
Kenapa nih? Kenapa nih? Ada apa ini? Halo,
Sekolah
halo.
besok Dev. Sekolah
Ah, besok sekolah?
lusa.
Oh, lusa. Oh, kita juga ikut.
Menurut kau lah.
Enggak mau.
Oke.
Saya-
Pelepasan pas.
Pelepasan.
Oh ya, pelepasan peserta didik kelas 12 serta pembagian surat kelulusan dan rapor diadakan pada hari Rabu 11 Mei 2022 secara onsite jam
Lihat.
8 sampai 11.
Bukan orang tua.
Nanti orang tua tuh selanjutnya.
Hah?
Ribet kan? Iya.
Jadi jam 8
Iya.
kita, jam
8 sampai
11 orang tua.
kita. Iya, sisa.
Ih,
Ih, aku nggak ada loh.
ih. Iya, aneh kali. Ngapa enggak langsung sama ya?
Kelas 1-1 dong.
Aneh. 5-0
Mana sih?
Kok gitu? Aneh. Kenapa enggak langsung dua-duanya ya? Nggak ada tempat kah?
Iya, bisa
Iya
jadi.
sih.
Coba
Kayak
kau pikir.
Satu murid dua orang.
Cukup lah. Oh, enggak lah. Enggak.
Ya, satu murid dua orang tua, cuy.
Eh,
Masa
kita
kamu pikir
kemarin
kayak
kita
semua murid
sih.
hanya punya satu orang tua?
Penuh sih.
Apa?
Kita hampir
Yang
kita hampir penuh kemarin.
Enggak, Cok. Kemarin kita masih banyak tempat.
Iya. Kok tambah orang
Udah
tuh?
lebih dari setengah deh. Kalau kau mau
Kok tambah
double,
orang
Iya,
tuh?
iya.
Kalau bawa sepasang macam mana?
tak mungkin, Cok.
Enggak. Ya, solusinya bikin hanya satu aja.
11.30 sampai jam 1 ortu.
Cok, itu
Maaf,
anjing aku tak tahu
Jogja.
itu sebuah. Nih ya, nih, aku mau cerita benda tak jelas nih.
Apa?
Benda itu TO bangsat itu.
Happens here in the console. Even if I was in this project folder,
Pokoknya
it
aku
shows
TO
the
lah nih
latest line
kemarin
of the
dapat
console
jam
down here, but that space key
kan
was pressed
dikasih ke
down. So we
sekolah
know
kan.
that Unity is hidden every time I'm pressing.
Tanya,
This line
waduh,
out.
kok kamu ikut lomba? Ya, kasih tahu.
And you actually have to make sure that this game view should be active. So if it's not updating,
Cok,
then you have to
TO.
Iya,
open the
itu
game
kan
folder to make
aku
sure
bet.
it's actually active. And then when we hit
Ya,
space every
itu.
time, it
Lalu
reloads. Okay, but we didn't want to log an error message every time we jump, or a log debug message. We
Ya,
want
aku
to make
bilang kan
the
itu
player
cuma
jump.
Ih.
So let's make the player
Justru
jump.
Gila.
tiket
So now
kan.
we need to
Dicat
take this
sama ibu. Halo bu,
the log message away. You can either erase it with backspace or you take this control Y.
Tuh, aku jawab
Aku jadi masih Sterling sih. Dev,
Ay, kenapa?
Sterling ke Bu Nov. Para Benjamin.
Sharing apa?
Chat ibu itu ngechat
Stream
kan.
Stream aku.
Ngechat.
Kau kirim link aku, Ben. Gak
Iya,
apa-apa,
katanya-
viewer
kata
baru.
ibu itu katanya kamu ganteng. Febri kata Bu. Nah, betul tidak Febri?
Apa iya? Mana
Febri?
tahu.
Siapa yang live? Febri live.
Ih, udah diam. Febri kacau.
Udah Dev kok. Ih Dev nih. Lelet Dev.
Apaan anjing? Kalian gak berani ngomong. Makanya pas belajar BI dengerin.
Diam. Intinya aku
Intinya?
bilang, Bu, itu cuma tengok biasa. Ibu itu nanya kan, mau dimasukkan prestasi enggak? Aku jawab enggak.
Prestasi
Bercanda
apa?
kan. Nah, besoknya tuh
Ganteng.
besoknya aku minta raport ke Pak Kwang nih kan, secara mendadak. Oke, aku datang lah. Oke, masuk di ruang guru.
Mm-mm.
Tiba-tiba kan, Pak Kwang dipanggil kan, tunggu perintah. Sini, habis itu kayak dia
Sini
kembali ke
kau.
aku, habis itu Bapak
Gila
Peter
panggilnya.
nanya, Bapak Peter nanya, kamu itu yang kemarin gak mau jadi investasi kan? Aduh, kok.
Hah?
Kayak, aku tahu mengarah kemana nih. Bisa aku bilang, pokoknya aku tahu mengarah intinya masukkan prestasi kan. Tapi, nah benda ini tak akan dipakai. Tapi kalau aku bilang ada tuh, dalam kondisi saat itu, aku kayak,
Iya kan ya.
iya coba aku udah kayak oke pak itu kayak chat lagi kan ini mau dimasukkan prestasi tidak ya bu masukkan ya sudah tak guna aja tapi ya adalah So ya udah. Besok nggak boleh wali.
can delete the entire line.
Dan
Let's think now
yang
logically.
saya
What needs to
kan
happen when we
maju ke
press
depan
space?
kayaknya
We've
lah.
checked for the
Tahu
input
tak jelas
and
ya.
log the message
Itu
away.
cuma
You can
take
think
off,
now logically.
kayak
What needs to
rasa
happen when we
ini
press
tuh
space?
layak.
We checked for the input
Oh,
and
control
press
ya.
space.
Nice.
And we had something called the
Boleh
rigid
sih,
body.
soalnya
Remember
TO-nya
that
kan dari
is
banyak
applying
orang.
physics to make the
My
pin
bad.
down to the ground. So there's
Dari
something
banyak
to do
ribuan
with
orang
with
itu.
physics or
Nggak
rigid body.
boleh.
So we have to actually
Berarti
access
bapak
the
bapak
component
komen
now,
itu
the
ikutin
rigid body
3 jam ini.
component. And here we can do that.
Aku nggak peduli lomba-lomba gitu, Feb. Kalau tidak ada memberi beneficial untuk saya aja.
Benefit, Ben.
Pendapat
Apa maksud kata ada benefit?
pendapat
Iya
Butet.
dapat 8 jam iya, tapi masalah maju ke depan tak ada benefitnya.
Ganteng kau Ben.
Maksudnya gimana? Kok disuruh maju ke depan nanti pas lulus?
Kayaknya kayak soalnya
Hargaan kayak
Majulah, Ben.
ya,
Ih, kau nih.
ih, saya
Itu
kan
kayak-
berdua.
hargaan untuk Benjamin
Eh.
yang satu TO.
Ayano Koji. Ayano Koji di sini. Ada Ayano Koji.
Oke, tadi kakakku datang kan balikan rapot ini itu besok ada tanggal 11 ada ini ya, kakakku nanya kan, oh iya tapi harus orang tua ya soalnya ini. Cok, aku benda tuh cok, kali lah saya juara 1 olimpiade deh. Tidak berguna cok,
Baik.
TO itu. Tidak lulus ya tidak berguna. Oh iya, masalah benda ini emang oke, tak ada sopan santun cok. Oke.
Apa ya?
Tadi les kan?
Hah?
Offline.
Oh, enggak,
Ada
bentar.
satu-satunya.
Ada apa?
Aku tak tahu. Ini pertama, ya pas lama, nah tahu lah ini kumpulan kita atau dengan yang lain gitu. Kalau dengan kumpulan kita pakai celana pendek slow kan.
Di situ beda.
Nah, tapi aku masih ingat pas SMP pun sering pakai celana pendek ke tempat les.
Celana kok.
Dan sabar. SMA pun aku rasa aku pakai celana pendek. Aku lihat semua orang ini pakai baju rapi. Bahkan ada yang pakai kemeja, celana panjang. Suatu pakai kaos kaki. Aku celana pendek, baju kaos. Baju kaos mungkin masih normal lah, baju
Iya,
kaos. Celana pendek tadi udah, sandal.
Ini enggak masalah. Kenapa ada apa? Kok kena marah kan?
Geografis Bandung itu dataran tinggi kan.
Ya mungkin sih gara-gara
Kalau ditengok pakai kaos, celana pendek.
ya itu mungkin. Terus saya oke. Ini ada satu guru dia bilang, oh maaf ya ibu pakai sandal. Gue kayak, kontol, kok aku melakukan hal yang salah.
Waduh.
Baik. Tak enak, cok. Kenapa orang-orang ini ada
Kultur sok di negara sendiri.
dan ibu itu mandang aku pakai sendal kan. Anjing kayak oke.
Kamu pakai sendal.
Ya,
Ada.
gila gua. Itu harapan. Ya. Tahu.
Kenapa sih Kevin tiba-tiba?
Mie pisang.
Ada pisang.
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 Oh, pai, Cok. Itu pai, Cok. Pie. P. Sorry.
You can access any component. Let's minimize this. Remember now that this player game object
Kau maju lah nanti, Ben.
player component.
Nggak apa, Bah.
here.
Aku di Bandung.
Apa?
Ya,
Oh, iya,
Bandung,
kok.
Mama nggak bisa dia ke depan. Kecuali
Virtual,
di- tapi
virtual.
wakilnya yang bakalan maju ke depan kalau misalnya ada gitu.
Oh iyalah, oh iya, bukan kau yang maju. Nggak apa Bapak, kau nggak apa. Aku tepuk tangan paling keras.
Bapakku ngikutin 3 jam hal-hal ini nih.
And it also has this
Kok 3
rigid
jam?
body
Oh, yang orang
component.
tua 3 jam.
So
Oh iya
somehow
kah?
we
Sampai
need this
11
script
murid.
to be able to access this.
Oh.
Oh,
Jadi wakil ya.
Waktu juga 11.30 sampai jam 1.
And there's actually
Ih.
something called
Iya
just
sih.
that.
Nggak tahu
here
itu
we will
sampai,
do get
nggak tahu itu
Cuma
sampai,
Ada manual
Waduh.
and then inside these
aku nggak tahu itu cuma ngambil rapor
Oh, iya,
biasa
iya, iya.
atau emang ceramah itu.
erase it with
Kalau ngambil rapor biasa bisa jadi nggak dari jam segini sampai sini bisa.
Ngapain ngapain ceramah udah tamat. Awal-awal kok ceramah mending.
Kalau yang siswa sih aku percaya itu bakalan ada kayak ceramah atau bla bla blanya acara.
drop down to the ground. So there's something
Oh,
to do
nggak tahu.
with physics or rigid body.
Ngapain,
So
Cok?
we have to actually access the component now, the rigid body component. And
Oh,
here we can
gila.
do that. You can access any component. Let's minimize this. Remember now that this player game object has this player component or the player script, and it also has this rigid body component. So somehow we need this script
Alright,
to be able
alright.
to access this rigid body. We need to get this component.
Oh,
And there's actually something called just that. So here we want to do get component, and then inside these sharp angles, greater or less or greater than signs, we can type what type of component was it that we needed to get.
Rigid body.
It's the rigid body. So I'll stop typing and there it's got it. So I press tab to complete it. And then when you get a component like this is actually a
Jam
method.
berapa?
So we need to
sampai jam
have these
1.
empty
10
brackets.
jam sampai jam
11.30 sampai jam 1
And that's the syntax
kalau
to
kau
get
mau
the
tengok.
Oh, satu
And now you
setengah.
can press period
1,5
to see
jam.
what can we do with this
Lama.
component. So we've
Nah,
got
paling
access, we've got a reference to this component now. And when I press period, there's lots of stuff again. Lots of magic stuff we can do. Okay, what is the
Aku tak tahu
move
sih berapa
position?
pengen
We've got
dalam
velocity, that's probably how
bisa
fast
kita
it's
ada
moving
di
at the
situ.
moment.
Ya udah.
We can add force, we can add explosion force, cool stuff. We can, let's scroll down, we can change the center of mass on
Aku
it.
sudah
We
sudah
can
mencoba.
probably change the mass
dua deh.
itself. Let's scroll down and see. Remember that was 1 kilogram in the inspector, so we can actually set it here to something else if we wanted to through program. But what do we want to do? We want to add a
Okay.
force probably to make the player jump up. So let's type add force. Okay, so when we press space, we want to get access to the rigid body component and we want to add a force. So
Iya
far
kan
so good.
Spotify.
Open bracket here.
Saya juga tidak bisa
And then it
di-
suggests we need a
lagi.
vector 3, a force. Vector 3. So a vector 3, what is that?
Apa itu?
That's something that
Yes, I know.
has,
Yes, I know
as
this.
you can see, shorthand for writing vector 3 and
Ah,
then in
itu
brackets here,
Spotify.
I don't know.
force. So remember now the
Terus dia yang di
x-axis
Spotify itu
attitude, so
dia
it can
tahu,
point
oh,
in some
oke,
direction
populasi dari
and it
luar
has
ya. Waduh.
how much, how large, or what's the
Luar.
magnitude of that force. 3, a 4 direction and a magnitude, so it can point in some direction and it has how much, how large, or what's the magnitude of that force. So remember now the
Magnitude.
x-axis,
God language,
left and right.
motherfucker.
the y-axis is up and down, and the z-axis is back and forth. And that's how Unity's coordinate system works. And when you jump in this case, which direction do you think you want to jump? So, okay, we probably want him to jump upwards. You could probably run and jump forward as well, but we want to apply the force upwards as you jump. And luckily enough, there's actually a predefined vector already, so we can type vector 3 dot up. And that would take, and by default, this
Iya.
up has, as you can see,
Mengingat
shorthand
saya
for
pakai celana
writing vector
pendek,
3,
saya
and then in
beringat
brackets here,
zaman
0,
saya
comma,
pertama
and
kali
then the y
kontrol,
component
kayak,
is 1, which is up 1 unit,
tak
and
bisa
then 0 on the
tak bisa
z-axis. Okay, we're going to apply the
tak
up
bisa
force, but then
tak
if we
disuruh
type comma again, we
bersosialisasi
set
dengan
axis.
orang banyak.
Okay, we're going to
Cok.
apply we need to provide, and there's something called force mode.
Ngajak
We have to
lagi.
pick the right force mode. So
Hari
if I press
pertama
tab
muda ini
again,
anjing, muda ini
okay,
tonton,
let's see, if we press period, it'll suggest what type of force mode we have, and we have acceleration, force, impulse,
kerja di intro
and velocity change. And here for acceleration, add a continuous acceleration to the rigid body, ignores its mass. Force, add a continuous force to the rigid body using its mass. We've got impulse, add an instant force impulse to the rigid body using its mass. And velocity change, add an instant velocity change to the rigid body ignoring its mass. So now we can think, okay, which one is probably appropriate for us? We don't probably want to have acceleration because we don't want to accelerate it up. We just want to make it go up. Also, force, It's using the mass, so it would basically jump different heights based on what the mass value was set. So if it's 1 kilogram or 100 kilograms, and for our simple platforming game, we don't want it to have really pay attention to how much the player is weighing. So we probably ignore that one. Impulse 800 kilograms. Jump different heights based on what the mass. It's using the mass, so it would basically jump different heights based on what the mass value was set. So if it's 1 kilogram, 100 kilograms, and for our simple platforming game, we don't want it to have really pay attention to how much the player is weighing. So we probably ignore that one. Impulse also uses the mass, so we probably just want to do a velocity change here. We'll instantly set the velocity to something, and then let's try this. So we have to end this line out with a semicolon. Remember, I press Control S.
How much is the velocity change though?
Press play, and then we jump. Oh, okay, it's jumping. But not very much. Okay, so
Oh, maaf
the
guys.
force, the magnitude of this vector up is not enough. It's adding a velocity change up, but the gravity.
Anak ini si Benjamin makin lama makin kayak Firdaus ya. Kurang suka aku dengarnya. Cara aku ngomong. Bukan beradaptasi cuy. Hari pertama Benjamin di Bandung mengajak semua orang, setiap orangnya yang ditemuinya berduel. Apa cok? Aku miss apa?
Benjamin dia pakaian kayak preman.
Oh iya cok. Ben, sumpah.
Pakaian preman nantangin semua orang lagi berduel. Bayang.
Kalau orang tak kenal kok Ben, sumpah, aku bakal pikir kok kayak orang suka bikin masalah Ben.
Pakaian tak betul, teratur.
Parah kan?
Iya.
Aku sumpah di situ aku kayak berpikir anjing ini kayak masih SMA awal tolol, tapi ya udah.
Gak apa-apa, kita belajar dari pengalaman Benjamin.
Iya guys, kalau di luar Ponti celana panjang bagus katanya. Kaos masih mending nih. Ya sendal masih bisa lah, celana panjang lah.
Ingat gitu guys.
Pertemuan agak formal gitu. Kalau makan sih, itu tahu sih tergantung. Kalau baru pertama kali bertemu ya.
So let's go back and multiply this. We can actually multiply it by 5, for example. Press
Okay, this is
S
my
again
time.
to save it. It's important to Control S to save every time. Otherwise,
mari
you won't
memulai
really know that
konversasi.
something has happened.
Aku hampir
Press
terlalu banyak
play again.
Halo, kamu dari
Now
mana?
you gotta jump.
Coy, sini
That's a pretty decent jump. But
Aku
it's still kind of
di
scary.
sini.
It's
Nice.
not fun.
Kamu dari
And here's another
mana?
thing.
Aku dari Pontianak. Pontianak di
Air jumping,
mana?
probably not what you want to do.
Oh shoot.
It's like a
Kalbar.
landing game.
Gak suka tergeser deh.
Terima kena doks lah.
So, is this a game yet?
Apaan anjing, kok hanya bilang Pontianak di mana goblok? Saya di Pontianak, saya tinggal di Pontianak. Saya
Aku
ingin
sebutin
datang.
nih.
Macam kau tahu. Jangan Feb. Jangan Feb.
Iya.
Bali Agung, aku tinggal di
Parah.
gitu sih. Parah.
Aduh.
Sempit pencariannya nih, Dev. Cita apa ya, Dev?
Parah anak tentrai 2 ini, anak beting.
Sempit gak pencariannya?
Tidak.
Masuk beting tak keluar orangnya.
Oh, it's not.
Oh iya
Even though
sih.
we've got user input.
Kamu dari
we can't
mana?
really do
Dari
anything.
Beting.
Beting. Tahu kok orang luar Beting tuh.
Oh, itu ya. Situ ya. Situ katanya ini. Lanjutlah kau ngomong.
There's no goal.
Ya, aku yang stream dulu. Guys, bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Halo. Kamu suka main game kah, Benjamin?
Terima kasih kepada
Iya,
istriku
coba kamu
Gura
nengok foto ini.
telah menemaniku.
Sabar. Ini real cuy.
Bye-bye.
Real banget Benjamin game.